Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal? All of you ugly motherfuckers. What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on? My dog.
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what, I'm out?
All right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah. Cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody
you're not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You lose respect yourself.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like, so is it cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first.
You would. Oh, you such a gentleman.
I do what I do.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman.
Oh.
Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
So you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, cause what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So like, do the whole time you just like, oh no, this cool. This ain't. We just chilling. She just wanna rub my back. That's cool. Ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. You ain't gotta kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
If she pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, oh. Yeah, this is the moment.
This sad, bro. I'm like, oh. I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
that's
right?
The moment, yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's ain't the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my d. I didn't ask for it.
If I don't say the words.
It's like, no. I didn't know. You know when I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen to you in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in. And he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings. You know, and I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he look like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shame. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, oh, Bernard.
Him, you slut! Bernard.
He about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you gonna hear, bitch. Good evening, everybody.
Thank y'all for showing up on a Friday. You know, this is the Ish That We Talk. I am Lily. I am the host of this show. You know me. I am the black toting, blunt smoking, joint toting, bad MFer that you see in front of you. I am also with the lady that pushes the bells and the whistles. Without her, it would not be no me. I say this all the time because it is amazingly true. The blind bombshell, 6 foot of do-gooder. You would try better if you would tread better around her. I want to give a round of applause for my cousin and my co-host, Lindsay.
Hello, how's it going, everyone?
And we are with the third musketeer, the lady who is always around for the jabs and the punches. She keeps it totally 100, and she is one of the people that I ultimately love to have banter with. Let's give a round of applause for Breezy Bree.
Hey.
Hey.
You hit the wrong button, mama.
I did. I don't care though.
But it's all good.
My hair is done under here. I just, I'm home now.
It's all good. Team Bonnet. I'm going to put my bonnet on right after this. But again, this is the Ish That We Talk. We got all the pleasantries out the way, but I also would be remiss if I didn't say a big shout out to TikTok. All of my TikTok people that are listening to me right now, how y'all doing? We're going to try to keep it popping for y'all. And then for my Twitch individuals, excuse me, one day I'm going to get on there and we're going to go live with y'all too as well. But right now, let's talk about these topics. What is going on, my people?
Well, before we get into the topics, I just want to send a shout out to my sister Ashley. Her birthday's tomorrow. Yay!
Oh, happy birthday, Ashley. Show is. She is a Gemini.
Yep. So shout out to her. She's in Orlando now. So we'll see her when she returns. But yeah. Where do we want to go first?
I don't know. It's a lot of
foolishness.
It's a lot of foolishness on here.
It's a lot of foolishness. So let's go ahead and start with let's go ahead and start with Brian McKnight. Excuse me. All right. Unfortunately, we have to send our condolences to the McKnight family because Brian McKnight's son, Nico McKnight, passed away. He was battling cancer, and he had cancer for a couple of years. This is one of the estranged sons from Brian. He had been fighting cancer these last couple of years. And unfortunately, he lost his fight a few days ago or last week. So last week, Brian's brother, Claude, I believe his name is, he took to TikTok and he made the announcement in about a 3-minute video. And, just speaking, positivity about Nico, his life, his legacy, and what have you. And that's how the world knew. That's how the world found out that he had passed away. So a few days later, Brian McKnight made in a post, a statement, and pretty much, talked negatively on his ex-wife and on his brother. Basically said it wasn't his brother's place and he turned it into something negative. He kind of blamed the situation on his ex-wife because he, according to him, they had doctors on deck for his son and also was opening up their home to his son so that he can, be in his home and get the care as well. and it was up to his son and his ex-wife that ultimately said no. So he's blaming the decision on his ex-wife on why he didn't get the care and what have you. And then he said that they memorialized him in their own way, had their own private service or memorial or what have you for him. Now, we do know over the past couple of years, which we have talked about on this show before, how the relationship that he's had with his black kids is trash. And
100%.
you would have thought that if anything would have brought them together, it would have been this terminal cancer that his son was fighting. And on top of that, his son was reaching out, I'm sure privately, because he definitely was reaching out publicly on how he wanted to reconcile and how he wanted his family, to come together. And he would, can die peacefully if that were to have occurred. As we can see, it did not. So, rest in peace to Nico. But, if we hadn't already canceled Brian, he would have been canceled now. Because he's just a trash individual. Like, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. He's just a trash individual. Who wants to go first?
Let's see. I'll go first. First, shout out to Pax for liking the live on TikTok. And then Chatty Girl says PH is a woman. My bad. I don't even know what that means, but we're gonna move past that. I don't know if you mean pH balance or whatever, but we talking about Brian McKnight. Again, yes, we knew his son was going through different issues with drugs, also mental issues. It is very disturbing to watch a man blame other people because that's just not taking accountability for what you did. What you actually did was you disowned your black children. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And now you want to play it like, it's everybody else's fault but yours. And to the point where you even throwing shots at your own people, your own blood for it. From my recollection, they didn't say anything wrong, but they were just acknowledging what was happening. Brian McKnight, you lost stripes in so many levels on how you treated them kids, hands down. Mm-hmm. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You lost all stripes. But at the same time, I will say this. You lost super stripes when you disowned them and then you acknowledged your other children with a woman outside the race. And I'm not saying that's something that somebody can't do. I'm not one of those people. But then you really put yourself in a trick bag when you did all of this and then you made a song that you thought was a bop called Did You Know Your Pussy Could Squirt? You just all around this. You was fucking up, B. You was fucking up, B. And now you don't even have the time to even tell your son, I'm sorry, or I should have did better because he's gone. Because I'm pretty sure if you really did love your son, it didn't matter what his mother was doing. If you wanted him to live his final days with you, you could have did that hands down. You have, not only do you have enough resources, you have enough money, and then you have the family structure to do it. Don't get on social media or don't come in here and cry anybody a river when we know you didn't give a fuck about him from the jump. And that, again, that's just my opinion. It's not the opinion of the Ish We Talk, but it is my opinion. My opinion is you as a man, it's deplorable.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't, and you're gonna reap what you sow eventually. These children that you have now, I don't want it to ever happen to you. But karma's a bitch, and I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna respect you as they get older. And my Forrest Gump voice, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Bree, your thoughts?
Brian McKnight don't like them kids, mama, and he took it hearing, and that's why he backed out of their life. And I agree. I'm not really trying to curse like that, but he's a bitch ass nigga. It's no, I can't undo it. He just is. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even try to make it right before he passed.
Right.
Like, you didn't even try to be like, fuck this. Let me, son, close the door. We gonna have a talk. Whether it went good or bad. You
Right.
could have still tried to make some type of amends. And I think what happened with Brian McKnight, and this is my opinion, it may not have happened. I think that when he broke up with that mother, the kids start kind of seeing he was a bitch ass nigga, and they start calling him on it, and then that's when he disowned them.
I can see that.
Like, you ain't tell you about him, you'll find out for yourself, and then you end up finding out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That might have would have what happened, because it's you have, unless that boy picked up a knife and tried to kill him, I don't understand the reasoning why you disowned him. Like, you even said your other son was the real Brian McKnight that you just had, the mixed kids, which ain't nothing wrong. I don't want to say it like that, but that's the difference between them. They both named Brian McKnight. So the mixed son, you was like, nah, he's the new king. We renounced this old one's throne. You said it. You made a post. You made it a specific post to address that. No one asked. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And what makes matters worse about that is that the original Brian McKnight Jr. got a son who's Brian McKnight as well. But what the singer Brian McKnight did was change his middle name to match the new baby Brian McKnight, so he could be senior to the new Brian McKnight.
Yep. That level.
That level of low dog, dirty, like,
that's
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Joker, Dr. Evil, Dexter's Laboratory, Mojo Go-Go. That's all of them in one. Like, he is demonic. That's it. What is wrong with you, sir?
But I also fought the wife, because how can you lay down with somebody that does this?
Oh, she gonna get it too.
Yeah. Because they don't give a.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this, Bree. Let me do this. I want everybody to know that when a black man has a certain amount of status and a certain amount of money and forgets who they are, sometimes when a white woman sees this, they take full advantage of it, and they go ahead and in their DNA, it is implanted in them to go ahead and make them feel like they're superior in order to take control. And that is exactly what happened to this man. I don't care what anybody says. It is one of those things. If we all know that trauma is embedded in our DNA, and his DNA, it's embedded for him to be docile to white folks. And we see that is evident. And then, and his now wife's DNA, it's embedded in her to play that type of game. To go ahead and see this and see that docile man in him and take full control over it. She knew exactly what was going on. I would be remiss if I didn't say she probably had a hand in saying, why don't you just change your middle name so that can be your junior. Because what she's looking at is the generational wealth for the white side, not Brian McKnight, not his family, none of that. She wants the generational wealth to be on her side. And it is what it is. And he's so vagina struck that he went with it. But he's older, so anything could have been vagina struck to him. He just happened to be a docile black man.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I ain't never liked the nigga. No way. He wasn't my favorite singer. I didn't think he was fine. I liked it. Like maybe he might have put out 8 CDs. I think I liked 3 songs, and I don't know what CDs they on. I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? Like
I like them.
Now that I ain't gonna hold you, because "Let It Snow" is one of the songs I like. He's in.
I was just about to say, you know what? I've been "Let It Snow." Like that was an avalanche of I like Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
I
think everybody likes "Let It Snow." I don't even like Christmas music, and I like "Let It Snow."
Exactly, because I don't. You know, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I don't like Christmas music.
Right.
Come over here and
help me trim the tree.
Don't sing that nigga song, y'all. Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't sing his shit. Fuck him.
Right. And that's what makes it so bad, because he's a great singer, a great songwriter, all of that. Because that episode with him on Martin, will they ever come a day?
I didn't like that.
Never hear me sing that I love and need to be without you.
I don't even know what song that is. I like the songs that came on BET. What was it? Y'all know, yeah, BET, Midnight Love. Whatever video came on that.
I
on the radio.
I really love Down Low. My body wants you so. From what I missed.
I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I like Anytime.
Nobody has to know.
Anytime is hard.
Anytime. Let It Snow.
Back at One.
Yeah, I like the Back at One.
Back at One is hard.
I think
Back at One was like his crossover, because MTV played the hell out of Back at One.
Oh yeah, especially getting ready for school in the morning. Shoot. It might have been another song of his that I might like, but it ain't. I don't really get. That's not what we talking about.
Yeah, right.
No,
we give him too much props.
Fuck him.
All right. So Tony's watching. She says, "Hey, Ish Talkers, I'm late. What did Brian say about his son that passed?"
He didn't say anything disrespectful about his son, which is we have to give him that. But at the same time, he played the blame game on why he wasn't present, and that's the type of
on the mama.
Yeah. So that's the type of bitch assness. That's the type of bitch assness that we talking about. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't there because you didn't want to be there. Let's just keep it a bean. Like, you can't blame everybody else, and then you threw your brother under the bus.
Right.
Like, why would you throw your brother under the bus? Because your brother was there.
Dude.
Your brother was, because he knew that the fuck shit you got going on.
Right. And he didn't even talk crazy about him or not. He even say his name. He just like, well, y'all know about the family stuff or whatever, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here. You know what I mean? So the fact that Clyde could have really, really aired his ass out for 40 days and 40 nights, because bitch, I know you on your life. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. He made it a positive post about his nephew. And he let the world know that unfortunately his nephew is gone. And then you want to get mad at him for letting the world know. Yeah, technically, yeah, you're right. It wasn't his place. But at the end of the day, who's going to tell us?
That's his uncle. And apparently they was close because he was there. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But if we're talking about whose place it was, like, technically, no. It should have been his parents. You know what I'm saying? It should have been his parents. But it wasn't. And he told us.
He knew that you wasn't gonna say nothing. That's why he did.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. That's why I was about to. Exactly. He knew you wasn't gonna say nothing at all. You would have been scot free because, again, let's keep it a total being. You then disowned these kids for years,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't have said nothing at all. So it was your brother's play, and I get what you saying. Like, all right, it's the parents should have did that. No, I'm gonna keep it a bean and say this: it's the people that help raise you place. Because I'm gonna post some shit. If something happens to my nieces, I'll post some shit too. And if they daddies had a problem with it, y'all didn't raise them.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't fucking raise them. I did, and the whole and everybody knows I did.
Yeah, and that's fair, But that's what makes the situation even worse, because Brian did raise them. He was a present father.
Yep, it was
You know
out.
what I'm saying? It'd be different if Brian said "fuck them kids" from birth, but he was a present father. He was present in their adulthood. So it's like, what happened to make it so bad that you said "fuck these kids"?
I'm telling you what happened.
That white vagina.
That and the mama was. Well, that he wasn't. He might have been in that house, but he might not have been a good spirit in that mud.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he wasn't. I mean, that's the reason why it ended in divorce. And on top of that, he had kids on her, and she still stayed with him after that. That's the killer part about all that.
That's why I think that the kids end up saying, like, you know what? He ain't shit. You know what I mean? And probably called him on it, and he disowned him. Because you know how some people, you can't tell people about themselves. Some of them will try to fight you. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Especially when you're successful and you have money. You can't tell them about themselves. They're going to do what they want to do. And that's just it. And that's all.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So he says, well, we know people explain away their BS and blame others to not feel so bad. I agree. I agree. Because that's what he did.
And at the same time that people do that, you have to understand that the type of people that don't take that don't take accountability, or the type of people that are always going to never have your good foot forward. They're never going to put you in a light where it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, where it's going to be good and respectful. Like at the end of the day, Brian is putting his posts out and trying to play the blame game and all that. My thing in a nutshell is, are you going to is this going to make you understand that you need to make sure that the rest of your children are okay?
Right. Is this going to be a wake-up call?
You know what I'm saying? Is this exactly? Is this going to be a wake-up call? And I'm only doing it off of my own trauma. Like, just keeping it a total being. Like, no, I watched my father lose all 4 of his sons outside of my mother, because he watched them all die in the streets and didn't try to save not a one of them. You know, just keeping it one. Just keeping it one. Like, are you gonna be that type of person? I'm not comparing my father to Brian McKnight, because Brian McKnight is a multi-millionaire, Grammy-winning artist. This should be your fucking wake-up call, my guy.
It's not though.
It's not.
It's not.
He's too full of himself, and he's and again he's blaming everybody else. He's taking zero accountability. Yep. So it's not gonna be a wake up call.
It's not gonna be a wake up call. It's not gonna be a wake up call until that little boy say, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm going in my room."
Yep.
Right.
I don't like you no way.
You're dead. Fucking mom's dead. I told you to get my skateboard out the shop, bitch.
that black is gonna definitely come out of Brian when once that son say, "This is my property, it's my fucking room," and slam that door in his face.
I have rights, you know.
It's either gonna be that or that white woman gonna be on the Today Show in the morning talking about how he be whooping her ass at home. One of those.
That's definitely gonna happen.
It's coming. It's gonna spin the block. I hope that nigga hear Damien music every time he closes his eyes, and his son be there like Candy Man, just I hope he hump the shit out of him. He is hard.
He should, and that should happen, because the thing I'll say is this: all of us know, shit don't work out. Relationships don't work out. But when there's kids involved, all that shit should be out the window, and you should be focused on your kids. At the end of the day, I know niggas that were shitty ass husbands, shitty ass boyfriends, but are dope ass daddies, and they baby mamas and they ex-wives to say that. Like, yeah, he was a shitty ass husband, but he a great ass daddy. Like, that's the type of time you need to be on, because things fizzle out. Love and relationships and all that shit fizzle out. But kids are forever. We all got a timeline. We all gonna die, but kids are forever. Like, your kids should never have nothing bad to say about you when they on their deathbed. They should always be like, my daddy did this, my daddy was this, my daddy was. The reason why I'm like this is because my daddy showed me how to do that. This is the shit that it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. You know how what's sad is that little boy probably was hoping to see him too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because he was reaching out online. So yeah, he was saying like, I would pass away pretty much being a happy man if I could just have one more hug with my mom, dad, and my brother.
That is sick.
It's horrible. Tully says, I think the reason he fell out with his kids was because of money. That's the reason that he tried to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know specifically. It probably has part of it. It probably is part of it. But yeah, but that's the reason he tried to tell us, because once they started blasting him publicly, he came out and he was like, they just mad because I cut him off. So, but no, you cut them off financially and emotionally, all that. Like he cut them off, period.
Now, yeah, they don't exist. He got so mad at them and the mama that he changed his name to something Brian something McKnight Senior. All over again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was done. When you do that and you a man, and men aren't really, I mean, don't get me wrong, I see more and more every day how petty and bitter men are, but at the same time, for you to take it paperwork route, you mad.
He went too far.
Paperwork.
He went too far.
Yeah, like that's you act like, unless this nigga tried to kill him or something or set him up, like, oh man, is other than
right, you gotta to tell me a horror story. Like he was like standing over you with a butcher knife in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me something to where, and even if he were to do that, you can't stay in my house no more, but I love you from a distance.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
See, the level of bitch assness that we are seeing from this man, lets us know that he only thought about controlling things, and really trying to dictate what was going on, because it takes a certain type of bitch ass nigga to be so mad at your baby mama that you don't like your fucking kids no more. It's because you can say whatever they try to do. You can talk about the money, you can do whatever, you can say all that shit. At the end of the day, again, it takes a certain type of bitch ass nigga to turn around and be like, not only do I not fuck with this bitch, I'ma change my name so I don't even have to be involved with the kids that I had with her. That's a jealousy type of a form, because you could have did it. Case in point, George Foreman named all his fucking kids George.
Even the girls.
If they broke up, you think he would have been like, nah, my name now is George Renthal Foreman, and made some other kids? Like, fuck no.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a level that he was never a man in the first place. Like, let's just end it right there. He was never a man in the first place. He was a sucker ass nigga that had a voice.
Yep.
He had somebody down on his team, and he started fucking on this bitch, and then this bitch said, you know what? I ain't fucking with you no more, nigga. And he said, you know what? If you ain't fucking with me, then I ain't fucking with them kids no more. That's exactly what happened. He just happened to be a rich nigga. We know plenty of broke niggas that did the same fucking thing.
True.
Preach, tabernacle.
I know a bunch of broke ass niggas that turned around and was like, "Oh, you ain't fucking with me. No, I can't fuck when I want to. I ain't fucking with you no more, hoe." Like now she a hoe.
Right.
Now she a hoe.
Right. And he only fuck with the kids when they on good terms.
How do
That's
you
when he want to have family time. That's when he want to go for baby birthdays and all that.
Shout out to Crystal Willis on TikTok. She said, he is not who people think he is. He is fronting for them white folks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tohi says, nope, it won't. Laugh my ass off. People that cut their people off like that don't feel bad about their decisions. And like y'all been saying, blame others. Yep.
He don't care. And then if I was that woman, I would be like, ooh, I'm gonna have to leave this nigga alone. He go cold on a bitch. You done talk to your own son on his deathbed. You know what I mean? Like that would make me be like, oh no, but see, that's how I know it's gonna spin the block. She gonna be his demise.
Yeah, exactly.
It
take a weird, because most people be like, that's a weird ass nigga. No, it take a demonic ass nigga not to talk to your son on his deathbed.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what y'all been through, ups and downs. It's motherfuckers I don't like. I'm talking about in my own family, real shit, 100%. But at the same time, if somebody said, hey, you know, such and such is dying, you know what I ain't gonna let them do? Crash out thinking I got a grudge on them. We gonna end that shit right then and there. And I'm sorry that I had to do it on your deathbed, but I want you to know that once you get out of here, me and you ain't got no ill will. We just couldn't fuck with each other. It is what it is. Let's move on. I love you. And by the time I get there, I want to be able to see you.
Yeah.
You know, just real talk. This is one plane of existence that we have to deal on. And sometimes we can't fuck with everybody on this plane of existence. But that don't mean I'm going to let you go to the next plane thinking that I don't fuck with you. I just couldn't, me and you just don't meld on this level. Maybe we have to be on a higher plane for us to fuck with each other.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. I just, you know, Brian McKnight need prayer because when God spin the block on him, it ain't gonna be nothing.
He gonna be scared.
It ain't gonna be nothing he can do about it. You know what I mean? And however it end up happening, it end up happening. I really, and you know what's so jacked up is he don't care. That nigga go to sleep every night. He rub his feet together and close his eyes. He do not care. Like
none of these niggas care until it's too late. Like, and you know what you know what the kick in the fan is and how karma works. And it ain't gonna hit him now, but karma will work like this. He'll get the same cancer and he'll find out it was hereditary and he gave it to his son in the first place.
I could see that happening.
You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that's gonna happen to him, and he gonna be so fucked up and scared because you know who gotta walk you through them gates? The people that got, you know what I'm saying? The people that, you know what I'm saying, got your same energy and your same DNA. You think that man gonna walk you through them gates? Because you know, the shit that I study, what I believe in is, as they say, they got these people got the right to refuse you. And you got to sit there for 1,000 years in purgatory until they decide to open them fucking doors again. That's the shit I believe in.
Yeah, that's your opinion. Absolutely. I definitely can see that. You know, I don't know, but that's your opinion. I don't think it sound dumb or any of that. It's just, you know, that's what you believe in, and that might, and he better hope that's not the case. He better hope that ain't what it is. You know what I mean? Because you out. Yeah, 1,000 years, he might get banished there. Shit.
Yeah, some people, you know, even though when you get there, you know, you could be enlightened. And again, this is just what I know what I'm saying, what I believe in. But You know, they say like, yeah, you greet the people, greet the people that either you killed or you was was your ancestors, and depending on what you did, they have the right to refuse you, and they ain't got to refuse you forever, but you're gonna have to sit there and wait. You got to wait for them to change their mind.
That's it.
And that's crazy.
That ain't how I go. And I matter of fact, I hope that's just how I go.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
I'm
never
gonna
mind.
say this and we gonna move on. May God have mercy on his soul.
Amen. In the name of Jesus.
Yeah. So
If I was his son, I'd be like, yeah, wait a little bit more. Wait a little bit longer.
Right.
Wait a little bit longer. I look at him, I hug him, I'll be like, damn, I miss you for so long. And then I'll shut them fucking gates on me. And it ain't being petty. It's you gonna have to feel what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's Brian McKnight.
Brian bitch ass McKnight.
Brian bitch ass McKnight. Shout out to Crystal Willis. She said he will get it back on his deathbed. I believe that.
I believe that too.
I believe it 100%.
I believe that too. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So next up, Cardi B and Offset.
Offset.
Woo, 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 woo.
Fuck him too. He's weird.
So yeah, Cardi B and Offset are going through their divorce, and romantically they have moved on. Cardi B is now dating Stephon Diggs, who's a football player, and Offset is dating the freak of the week. I don't know, but
well, shit, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they both dating the freak of the week.
Well, yeah. While simultaneously being the freak of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's reached the public the demands that they are wanting out of their divorce. One of the things that Cardi wanted was sole custody of the kids. One thing that Offset wanted, well, two things that Offset wanted was joint custody and spousal support. Now, what they're saying is that him requesting spousal support is actually a tactic because he's trying to gain some type of control in the divorce proceedings. But you know, the request is there. So take it how you want to take it. But anyway, somebody put up a side-by-side picture of their son Wave and Stephon Diggs. And these side-by-side pictures had both of them rocking the same pattern braids. So, of course, people automatically assume that Cardi had her son's hair braided to match her new boo's hair. One of the people that assumed this was Offset.
Of course.
So,
of course.
Yeah. So he kind of crashed out online.
That ain't no kinda.
Yeah. He crashed out online. And then he deactivated his account. Now it is reported that Wave actually had his hair braided like that first. So it wasn't her trying to have his hair braided like him. It was the other way around. But if it was her having his hair braided like him, I would understand his anger. Because, bitch, now you playing with me about my kids. And that's just not cool. But what are you guys' thoughts?
You want to go first?
I think it's weird. I think that he's weird. I think Offset's weird. I think that the hair thing is okay. We in New York. The girl that braid my son hair in New York, here's her info. He got his hair braided. I don't think he was like, I want my hair just like his. I don't think no thought was into that. He probably just said, do my hair. He could have just sat down because men for real don't, not saying he wouldn't ask, or some certain men don't ask for hairstyles, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't see that I don't see that's what it is. I think they got their hair done by the same person, because you can tell. I think he might have been like, oh, I like his hair. And the girl was like, "Phew," and did it. Or she just did his hair. Either way it go, his hair is going to mimic his hair if they went to the same braider. That's just that. You know what I mean? So you're going to be able to see the same work. It's just stupid. It just sounds like a reason for him to try to. He's just being a bitch ass nigga, man. I don't know what's going on. That's the second one we talking about, because it's like,
number 2, bitch ass nigga.
yeah, like what are
Okay.
you? What's going on? Why is this a thing? Like, why are you this mad? Just stop. Like, stop. You know what I mean? Like he's just been doing too much weird shit, and then.
Well, I believe there's more to the story, because I mean, I don't know whose side you gonna pick, but he hasn't seen the kids in months. But from what I'm understanding is that she's low-key keeping them away. So whether she's keeping them away or whether that's his choice that he hasn't seen the kids in months, I don't know. But if he ain't seen the kids in months and he's used to seeing them often, and then all of a sudden he sees this picture, I can see why he would crash out, because he's probably been holding it in, you know, feeling some type of way because they're dating, but you can't feel no type of way because you fumbled big time. And now you're going through this custody battle, and she's trying to, you know, have sole custody of the kids. And then you see this picture. So it's like 1, 2, 3, that's enough.
I heard her little TED talk.
And then on top of that, then it's that, because she's wishing him death.
I heard that, and then she's done several more after that, and I haven't listened to them all in length. A couple of them I have. The last one she did, I did listen to all of it because I was bored. She basically is like, he just seen them kids. It ain't been months. He just seen them, and he can come see them whenever he wants. He doesn't want to. He wants her to come to Atlanta. She doesn't want to. So now he's not seeing the kids.
And that's the thing, because I mean, with them staying in 2 different states, they're gonna have to figure some shit out.
Like, it's just done. He's being a bitch. Like, it's
but
him.
I don't think it's just him. I honestly don't think it's just him.
It's just him. I think that it's just him, and she got her lick back, and it's so drastic that it's just like, oh, she's being petty about it. No, I don't think she told that man to get his hair braided like that. I think he went and got his hair braided. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see him and her. I don't see her doing that. I don't see her being petty with Offset. They've been dating for 6 months. She could have been.
I do
definitely see that.
I do.
I don't
100%.
I think now. Don't get me wrong.
That's a petty ass bitch right there. She's
but I don't think she's
definitely
being petty. How is she? This is the thing. When he was posting the girls and all that and being on boats with them and all that, he wasn't being petty. But she get on the boat with her dude, her boyfriend, and she's being petty. I'm confused. That's
all right. Let me intervene and tell you what I ascertain. What I ascertain is this: we are dealing with 2 toxic individuals. So let's just get on Offset. First and foremost, this man, and I'm gonna call him a man at first, is a deplorable human being. He's been a deplorable human being for a long time. This man fucked on a nigga's woman that literally made sure that he had millions of dollars. So this is a deplorable human being, and he started dating a deplorable human being, which is Cardi B. Cardi B I'm not saying all strippers are bad. I'm not doing none of that. But what I will say is this. She been telling y'all she set up niggas from the jump. So she's got a petty streak in her that is a mile fucking long. You put these two people together, it is going to be toxic. It is going to be hell on earth. And they decided to have children together.
But
we all know two of the most horrible individuals that have children together, they make each other's life a living fucking hell. And we are seeing that play out and unfold in rich nigga time.
But my thing is with this, he was doing all of that stuff first. He was showing all, you know, when they
now,
broke
hold on. Before you say that, I will say this.
How is she being petty? Tell me what she's doing to be petty. That's what I needed.
Okay, so and I will say this. We are seeing this in real time on how the world seen that he was first. Who are we to know? Like, these two niggas are toxic. We have to understand that a civilized human being, and I'll keep it 100 and keep it a total being, a civilized human being wouldn't allow somebody to keep playing them like that unless they were on the same type of time. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I will say this. In my opinion, you can't keep getting caught like that and she keep taking you back unless she knows she be doing her own shit too. Now, double back into what we're talking about now. Hell yeah, I can see her doing some petty shit like that because she always gonna get her lick back. That's been her motive from the gate. We act like we forget Cardi B with the fucked up teeth from Love and Hip Hop. This bitch been getting her get back. That's the type of time she's on. So I'm not saying that he ain't silly as fuck for even being mad about that shit. Because a man would have looked at that and been like, that's what you trying to do? All right. And after that, we just gonna have to figure out some shit out before I crash out. But what I'm saying is,
it's a hairstyle. What are you
saying? I get you saying it's a hairstyle.
What is she doing to be petty? You ain't said that.
Bree, listen to me. I get what you saying. It's a hairstyle, but at the same time, it's the same hairstyle that your dude got, and that's my son.
Right. Okay. So what? How is that? How is that petty?
Because a woman that respects you wouldn't have did that shit. I'm gonna keep it a total.
If you got your hair twisted and I was like, "Ooh, I like these," and I had my son get his hair like that, that's me being petty.
I'll tell you wrong as a motherfucker for that. Especially if I know you. If I know you and your baby daddy beefing.
No,
if I know you and your baby daddy beefing, I'm gonna say don't do that shit. You know why I'm gonna tell you don't do that shit? Because I don't want to crash out on your fucking baby daddy.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how.
Okay, so let me. As a man, I'm telling you as a man. I can only tell you as a man.
That's dumb.
That I get that you saying that's dumb, but you're saying that as a woman. I'm telling you as a man. That right there is gonna play with a man's psyche.
How?
You know why? Because now you are trying to say that that's his kid. In a man's mind, that's what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want to say about it, but I can only tell you as a man 100% God's truth. If Jasmine went, I got locks. If she goes, if me and her break up right now, my son's a curly head individual. I ain't never thought about getting his hair twisted or nothing. If she messed with a dude with braids and she turned around and got my son's hair braided like his, I'm going to crash the fuck out because that ain't his fucking daddy.
I guess
That's just like taking a son or taking your girlfriend's son to the barbershop, and he normally goes to the barbershop with his dad.
That ain't his daddy. You don't do
Yeah.
that. That's the type of time. So that's the type of time
Especially
I
when
agree
y'all
with man
on
crash
bad
out, because
terms.
that ain't the type of time a woman's supposed to be on.
Yeah,
That's when his
especially when
daddy
y'all on bad
goes
terms.
get his hair done.
Yeah, especially when y'all on bad terms. Like that's not. It's being petty, and it's putting the kids in the middle of this shit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not
100%.
okay.
I guess I just think different than everybody because I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Right.
You don't see nothing wrong with it.
It's
You
not.
don't
It's
see
not
nothing wrong with
something
it.
big, but it's huge. You know what I
It's
mean?
huge.
Like,
and so if that nigga ran up now, listen, the whole thing I will say about this. The reason why this nigga Offset went to social media and then erased it is because he wouldn't have checked Stephon Diggs. I'm not that guy. I'm not taking it to social media. I'm gonna tell that nigga right then and there, hey boy, you not his daddy. And I'm gonna tell her, take that bullshit out of my son's head.
And apparently him and Stephon Diggs was cool at one point because they got pictures together. So we cool at one point, and then you turn around and you dating my wife.
Y'all the flip.
And now my son is not only around you, but my son is getting his hair braided like you.
Yeah, that shit gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit, if I give you a pass for fucking my bitch, which if you my friend, I'm gonna keep it 100. If you my friend, I ain't gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna go with that. If you tell me you like my woman now, oh yeah, that's gonna be a big misunderstanding between me and him.
And this is his wife. Like, it's not his girlfriend, it's not his baby mama. This is his wife. You know what I'm saying? You might keep it G with the girlfriend or the baby mama, but but his wife. So and he's actively going through a divorce with her, and it's messy.
If my baby daddies took my daughter to get her hair braided by the girl that braids his girlfriend's hair, and they kind of got the same little style,
you need to crash the fuck out.
Because they got the same hairstyle. She's trying to be her mom. Are y'all serious? Do you hear how that sound?
It sounds. I mean, it does sound small and it does sound petty, but it's huge at the same time.
No, it's not.
Because what are you doing?
I would not do that. If my kid's dad took her to get her hair braided, and his girlfriend was like, "Hey, she can go to my braider." And the girlfriend got a heart in her head, and my daughter come home with one, and it's braided similar, and it's cute. Thank you. I'm not gonna crash out about that. That's a fucking hairstyle.
And I get it, but and that's a woman, that's the way you're thinking. As a man is never thinking that. That's my progeny. That's my seed. That's who I look at. That I look at him like I look at myself in the mirror.
Men are just dumb. Like at the end of the day,
that ain't got shit to do with man being dumb. Bree, I'm gonna keep it 100.
That is,
you know what I'm saying? Like I get what you I get what you saying as a woman. So I want you. Hold on, Bree. Let me explain this, because I get what you getting as a woman. How you think as a woman is not how a man thinks, and how a man thinks is this. If I'm the one that gets my son hair done, or if my son gets his hair done a certain way, and now you starting to make it, and you got his hair done like the man that you are dealing with now, yeah, a man's gonna feel a certain way about that, because that's my son. That's not his son.
At first,
his son braided like that.
The little boy had his hair like that first. Stephon went and got his hair done after that.
Yeah, that's what we found out later. But we're just going off of the scenario that Offset saw. He just
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you're like talking
we get
about
it in real life. Yes, Stephon got his hair done after Wave, but that's not what was initially thought by Offset and a lot of people.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. That I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that's what caused the crash out.
What we looked at was, we thought she was trying to make him look like Diggs. Not Diggs seen that and was like, I want the same hairstyle. It's a big ass difference.
Like, case in point. Remember back when Sierra first started to date Russell Wilson? Baby Future wasn't even a year old yet. And remember those pictures and stuff when they went to the zoo and he was pushing the car and then he was holding the baby. And you remember all these men did so many podcast episodes about how that shit was fucked up.
I didn't see it then and I don't see it now.
Women weren't seeing it then because I didn't think it was that big of a deal either. But then we start seeing other things. And, you know, Future taking considerable interest in what Russell does. And he's wearing Russell's jersey and stuff like that. So a lot of people, you know, was feeling some type of way. A lot of men went against Sierra because it looked like she was doing the shit to be petty. You know what I'm saying? So
Future not being in his kid's life enough. It's her being petty.
Hold on, Bree. What I was saying is
no. But that's what the optics were.
I was about to say that's what the optics was.
Yeah, nobody was coming out and explaining shit or anything like that from neither side. You know what I'm saying? So the optics were, it looks like she's being petty in the public. She got this new man playing daddy, and he got a daddy. And so all these men were going on all these different podcasts, crashing the fuck out on Sierra. You know what I'm saying? From A-list to Z-list. All these men were saying something against Sierra because of what the optics were.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know the true tea. We didn't know.
And we know the true tea. Now what is it? It ain't.
Now that we know the true tea, and I'll speak as a man. Now that we know the true tea, that was Future's that was Future shit to lose.
Okay.
That was his shit to lose. When you're an active father, that's an adamant point of disrespect. Now, how like I said, how the optics play, how we were looking at it was this bitch did this shit in spite of Offset. So, in that point, yeah, you suppose I wouldn't have never crashed out on social media because I don't do that. What I would have did was I would have totally addressed, and I would have took that shit out of my kid's head. She would have had to explain to me on that type of shit, and then I would have told him, I don't give a fuck that you play football and all that, you big and strong. Nigga, don't you ever do nothing to match my son. You not my fucking son. I mean, excuse me, you not my fucking son's dad. So
but
I would have turned my emotions on him.
I don't want
to not on no extra shit, just on some take that shit down, my nigga.
I don't think to be his dad. I think he wanted to get his hair braided. I really am not looking at it like that. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't think that man was like, yes, now I'm gonna get my hair braided. Like, I don't think that's what that was.
And I get that, but I want you to understand how a man feels.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on, Bree. Hold on. Let me talk to you.
Yep.
How a man feels.
Untherapized man, yes.
No, listen though.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying this for all men. Because all men ain't men. Let's just keep it 100. You just got the age, but you're not a man. But what I'm saying is this. As the man that I am, somebody that I know, win, lose, or draw, my son is my son, and my son gonna know who I am. I'm gonna take care of my son. Ain't no boyfriend gonna get the same hairstyle my son has. Because he's not gonna even familiarize himself with this nigga yet.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. The only way I'm gonna allow you to familiarize yourself with this nigga is if that's your mama's husband. Then I have no choice. But if it's a boyfriend, hey man, you got me fucked up. That nigga get his hair done like I do, or he get his hair done like I said.
What if he get his hair braided like his and it's his husband? It's her husband. That's who.
I have no control over that.
That's
what I'm saying. It's levels to this shit. As a man, and in this moment right here, what we're dealing with right here, before we found out that Stephon Diggs got his hair braided like the babies, any man would have automatically thought, oh man, this bitch being super petty.
But see, and it turns out that she wasn't. So that's why people shouldn't be thinking they're trying to assume retarded shit. You know
That
what
ain't retarded. That's somebody being
But-
again. I get what you're saying because he crashed out on the internet. I wouldn't have crashed out on the internet. I would have made a phone call.
And I ain't no Cardi B stan or none of that. I don't give a fuck about none of these people. We talking. I'm just looking at it like everybody thought she was being petty. Now, oops, she's not. She can't tell that grown man not to get his hair braided like his. He grown. It
Yeah,
ain't.
she can't.
But
She can't. 100% she
Yeah,
can't.
in real
But
life,
you know who
life,
can?
it's not that big of a deal. But the way that the optics were, it was the other way around. Like a lot of us thought the same way Offset thought. And on top of that, we know Cardi to be a petty individual.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this
Shout out to Crystal
through
Willis. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut y'all off, but shout out to Crystal Willis. She said Cardi wrote songs about being petty. This bitch is petty.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing it this time.
But
this time
nobody knew that though.
I'm not saying not a petty person. Everybody is. A baby can be petty. That's not it. I'm saying I don't think that she's being petty with this relationship with this dude. I think this is just getting blew out of proportion, trying to piss this nigga off because he know he fumbled. Like he's making it like she's trying to be petty, and all in all, nigga, that ain't even what the case was.
And I 100% agree with you, but at the same time, like Lindsay said, it's the optics of it. It is
right.
what
I
we
understand
see.
that, but he still made a big deal about it because he crashed out. So of course everybody had to see why he was crashing out. Oh, because he got his hair braided like his. Time to find out, nope, the nigga got his hair braided like the little boys. It's just, like it's just dumb. I can't see, and it ain't because I'm not a man or a woman or none of that. I can't see it's just dumb. It's dumb to me. I'm sorry, it's dumb. Like I explained, since I'm a woman, it's not that bad. If I said my son's girlfriend took my daughter to get her hair braided and they got it the same way, the hairstyle's cute, I'm not gonna go home and take her shit out. I bet you I don't. I'm not gonna say don't take her to go back there unless the braids took my baby's hair out or something. But if it didn't, oh cool, you go get your hair braided every 2 weeks. You want to take Giant? Okay, I'm not going to do that because I'm not mad that y'all together.
I'm not mad y'all together either, but that nigga's not gonna look like him.
Ah man, come on.
Fuck are we talking?
How you gonna control what's going on in their house? That's weird.
Because that's my son. What are we talking about here?
Your son full time sound like. That's what it sound like.
And I want to.
I mean,
like
he don't. He said
we do it because I want to. That's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Apparently upset, don't want to, because he said joint custody. So that ain't the case either.
Nah, listen.
Man, like
I grew up without a dad. My son ain't.
Come on.
Me as a man, I'm not letting that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how petty that looks or how people portray it or how a woman would betray it. I'm saying off the flip, until I know the full understanding of it, I understand the crash out. I understand completely the crash out. Now, hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. Now that I know what actually happened, that's the conversation me and that man's gonna have. And that's not me trying to be on no extra. I'm just letting this man know that that's my son.
I don't think that nigga wants to be his daddy either. Like, I'm not getting those vibes. I think it's getting blown out of proportion. I don't think she got that man around her kids like that. I think they've seen him, but I don't think he's there at the house. It ain't like how it is in Kansas City. They rich.
I honestly agree with you. I don't think that Cardi's doing that either.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it. That's why I'm like, now, come on with this shit. This nigga, at the end of the day, he is a bitch. He's looking for a reason to be on bullshit.
No, I don't think
you know
I don't
what?
think he's looking for a reason to be on bullshit either. I honestly, like, you gotta dig a little bit deeper into this, because as far as men, especially black men, is concerned, especially with their hair, like, that's a bonding experience to go to the barbershop with their son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a deal. It's a whole situation. Like, you teach your son how to shave, you teach your son how to do this, that, and the third, and your son is getting his hair braided like another guy, and this is your wife's jump off. You don't know if they're gonna be together for X amount of years or X amount of days. You know what I'm saying?
His hair braided. That's her braider. Offset don't got nothing to do with that. So they don't.
We don't know what Offset got to do with it, because we don't know if Offset took care of that shit back in Atlanta when they was in Atlanta, and now that they're in New York, now Cardi got to take care of it. We don't know what this arrangement or agreement or situation was.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It wasn't. That girl been braiding that little girl's hair for the longest, and she started braiding the little boys. So
and that's 100% possible, but again, we don't know.
That's what was 100% said. So at the end of the day, he's trying to find a reason to be on bullshit. That's just
I don't think he's trying to find a reason.
He's not trying to find a reason. You can call him whatever you want to call him. You can say whatever you want to say. But I know as a man, that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case. Like, everybody and their mama in the whole wide world could say Offset ain't shit, and he's doing this and he's doing that. And this situation right here, this is a clock is right 2 times a day. This is the only time I'll be like, yeah, I would have crashed out too. Simple.
Like, I get it, because I was on Sierra's side back with the Sierra and Russell Wilson. I didn't see that. I didn't see nothing being a big deal. Shit, she don't want to push the stroller. So what? He pressing the stroller. But now I get it. Like, the optics are terrible.
Well, maybe I need to quit believing the optics, because I always see the big picture. At the end of the day, it be the daddy slacking. So
no, and I'll take that right from you, Bree. I'm gonna take that right from you, Bree, because at the same time, you say that, it is a lot of motherfuckers that do be petty like that.
I said, if just like you said, if you had your son, the man wouldn't even get to play with you like that. All the way around the board. Then how come everybody else ain't doing it? Then how come everybody thought Sierra was playing with Future with Russell Wilson? How come they think Cardi B? Apparently these niggas ain't doing their job good enough.
I'm gonna tell you,
you letting that space get in between there for that man to do that shit. Now you mad at me, bitch? What you think I'm supposed to do?
I'm gonna tell you example of just some regular average people. Not gonna name no names, but I know somebody who no longer with their child's mother, and they hadn't been together for some years. And one thing that he really wanted to do with his son was take his son on a cruise. And what did the mama do? Book a cruise with her new boyfriend and the kids.
What prevented the daddy from taking the son on the cruise?
Financial reasons.
So he gotta wait till he's 21. We all gonna go on the cruise and leave. Your daddy don't got the money to take you.
You don't get it. You're not getting.
I love you to death, Bree.
I didn't say he crashed out or anything.
Yeah, I love you to death, Bree. But you're not looking at the big. You say you're looking at the big picture. You're not looking at the big picture when she's telling.
I'm not saying he crashed out. I didn't say that he took it out on her or nothing like that.
I didn't say he did that either.
Yeah, but what I am saying is that it crushed him.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It crushed him that he wasn't able to do that.
Since you had a financial burden where you could not take your son on a cruise, and you didn't probably talked about a cruise to this little boy to where now the mama, boyfriend, and the kids are gonna go ahead and go on one. We gotta wait on you to do it. So since we gotta wait on you to do it, I'd have been wrong to be like, well, since you want to take him on the cruise, we all going on the Disney cruise, but he's not gonna go because I'm gonna let y'all do that. That's y'all's thing. And then when my other kids get home and they say how much fun they had, I hope you get him on that cruise.
Nah, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that.
Nobody's saying that.
Nobody was saying that.
But that's the big picture of it all.
No. That's not the big picture.
So okay, so are y'all sitting here saying the girl booked the cruise to be petty with the daddy? Are you really serious about that?
I didn't say that either.
You got to listen to what she's saying. She didn't say that at all.
All I said was that it crushed him. That's all I said.
She just said it crushed him. She didn't say that he crashed out or she was being she was being petty.
I don't know.
It just crushed him as a man.
That's what
again.
Hold
on, because we're talking about a man. Like at the end of the day, like we're not saying that she couldn't have did that for him. It just crushed him as a man for him not to be able to do it. That's what she's saying.
Whose fault is it? You crushed yourself because you can't do it. You crushed yourself because you can't do it.
Bree cold-blooded, man.
Man, that's what I'm like. I'm listening to it. I'm like, God damn, like he want to, Bree. He trying his best.
Right.
Some of these niggas be trying their best.
Your best ain't good enough.
God,
I got kids and I'm doing better than you. Come on, make it make sense. You can't.
Sometimes it works like that.
Sometimes it be like that.
Life is crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So Tohi says y'all are hilarious talking about this shit, and the more y'all go back and forth, I agree. It's petty as hell, but funny.
Like because I always like to put it in real time because I like when Bree be like, "You said it, nigga." I'm gonna put this shit in real time. When I was young, I had hair just like my son. Me and my son got the same type of hair. I got pictures to prove it if you think I'm bullshit. But
I don't think that. I don't. It's a good thing, I guess. I haven't thought.
No, but what I'm saying is this: my mother started dating a man, and I never wanted my hair cut. And this is one of the things, people be like, you don't remember when you was a kid. One thing I remember as a kid is I never wanted to get my hair cut, and I cried like a motherfucker. I was so mad. One thing I love about my mama is my mama never disrespected my daddy. When she came home and seen that my hair was cut off, because not only did he get my hair cut, he didn't try to get it in the style. That nigga cut my shit completely off because he was bald. That shit killed my mama. And my mama said, don't you ever do my son like that because his daddy didn't even agree to that shit. I don't even know my daddy at this time.
That's weird. That nigga did need to be cussed out. Nobody told you to do that.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So this is what I'm saying. So this is the trauma that I got. So this is why I'm like, nigga, can't no man do no shit like that.
So you biased. So your opinion really, if we was in a court of law, you can't be in a jury because you're biased. You had a traumatic experience about that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I would have definitely been like, fuck no.
Well, there we go. I won.
You didn't win.
Yes, I did, because I'm not biased about it. I don't have that type of experience. You do. So you couldn't even participate in the jury.
But most people have a traumatic experience like that.
So, but that's why you saying you see it that way, because that's what happened to you. Where none of those things took place or happened to me. I
get it. Like I told you, I said I can't. I said it, and I will keep saying it. I can't tell you how to feel as a woman, but I can tell you how it is to feel as like a man, especially a man that's taking care of his kids. Again, like you said, we don't even know if this nigga really taking care of his kids. Maybe he just crashing out to crash out because he mad. I'm gonna tell you, as a man, to take care of his kids.
According to that woman, he's not.
If he's not, then he's not, and he's crashing out for nothing. But I will tell you, as a man, I can fully fucking stand how that can be a crash out.
You see how retarded man that is? Because
that's not retarded.
It is. You are.
It's not, because you're playing in my face.
Listen.
Okay.
You saying that as a man that don't take care of his kids. I'm saying as a man that take care of his kids, that's disrespectful.
So you would rather feel disrespected instead of you looking at it like, damn, this nigga is taking care of my son financially, taking him on trips, whining and dining him. You wouldn't be mad about that, but you'll be mad if he's with his hair braided.
Nigga, I'm not even talking about any of it. I'm talking about you getting my motherfucking son's hair braid. I don't even give a fuck about none of that bullshit.
Catch the reference. So you mean to tell me you will be mad because a man and his boy got their hair done alike, instead of you being mad that this man is financially taking care of your son, in his face being a father figure to him? Ooh. But your drawing point is the hair?
Okay, boom. I'm gonna tell you this. So, and I'm gonna put you in this perspective. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe I don't have it all. Maybe this man can do this and he can do that. But the only thing I got, listen to what I'm saying. Okay. The only thing that I got is I take my son to get his hair cut because that's the only thing that I have. Now, other than that, he does this with Jasmine and Karen, and he does this with. I can't do that because I'm not financially able to do that. But what I am financially able to do is get my son a haircut, and that makes me feel good that I can get my son's haircut when I go get my haircut because that's what I can do. And you take that away from me?
Not the Disney cruise, the haircut.
You're not even looking at the looking at the mental or the emotional strain that I just told you.
I told men are weak sounding like
that ain't got nothing to do with weak or anything.
It
no, Bree. Hold on, because I gotta be 100 with you on this.
I would be so more mad that this nigga is taking my son to Nickelodeon Studios. And at one point,
I love you, but you gotta listen to a man.
I'm listening.
But you're talking. So what I'm saying is, if a man can only do these things because whatever his choices is, this is what I can do. I can take my son to get his hair done. This is what I'm doing. This is what I can do as a man to show him that I'm his daddy. And you take that away from him. That is a really emotional and a fracturing thing. Because that's what I have with him. This nigga can show out and show up and all that, and she can throw that shit in my face, and I don't give a fuck. What I give a fuck is about my time with my son. And my time with my son, one of the best times I have is I can take him to get his hair done, and you totally took that away from me. You know how emotionally scarred that is for a man to deal with? I don't give a fuck if you say it's weird. If that's all I can do, let me do it.
But that's all you can do?
Man, come on, Bree. I don't give a fuck if that's all I can do. Let me do that, though. As a man, let me do that.
I'm doing everything else, and all you're doing is a hairdo. And
Bree, you crazy. You crazy petty. You crazy petty on that. That's wrong.
All right. So he says, I think in that situation, the devil is in the details. How long will it talk for you? Well, how long will it take for you to get the money? When is the cruise? Okay, yeah. Let me see, because this was some years ago. When I first heard about the situation, like the cruise was coming up in like a month. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how long they planned it out, because you can plan out cruises years in advance, but I don't know how long they planned it out or anything like that. And I just know that he wanted to do it, and then I guess when he found out that they was going, it crushed him. So yeah,
he crushed himself. He did that to himself. He didn't have his priorities in order. He should have been able to do it.
Man, nah, that ain't what it is. And I can say that and just real knowledge of what it is. I know individuals that and men and women that pay child support and then have to pay $1,500 rent, and then rent on top of lights, gas, water, and car note. And so they don't have the money like that, where this other person has this other person with them that they're living their life with. And so they can do a little extra. So these people are only, they only lust and need for the time that they have with their children. And so if you take it away from them, they feel a certain way. And I understand it completely.
And that's
Illusion
pretty
that-
much the situation that he was in. You know, he paid child support and he had to pay rent and all that kind of stuff. So his money was stretched very thin. Whereas the ex-wife's boyfriend didn't even have kids. So
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Those are the decisions that people make in life. We can't fault the wife's boyfriend for not having kids.
I didn't say that that's what he was doing.
Hold
Nobody
on.
didn't say that.
Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not saying nobody said that. My whole thing is this, and good to that man, and I'm, you know what I mean? That is, I guess, you know, whatever. But at the same time, the decisions that you make in life affect you. This man don't got no kids. He's able to do this with your son. And I gotta live in your delusion with you and let you take him to go get his hair cut because that's the only thing you got.
That's his daddy.
That's all
That's his daddy.
That's all
you gotta give his daddy something. You gotta give his daddy something.
And like we discussed,
especially if he's trying to be there. It'll be a difference if that nigga wasn't trying to be there. He's trying to be there.
That's all you do.
But
I'm trying to be there. That's all I can do at this moment.
But like we discussed earlier, going to the barbershop is something totally different. Like that's a bonding experience. People live their lives fully for decades and talk about how they went to the barbershop for the first time with their father. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a big deal. It ain't that big of a deal to us, but it's a big deal to men. That is.
But I'm doing everything else, and that bitch ass haircut, we gotta live in the delusion in, because that's all you can do is a haircut.
Because that's all I can do. I just don't understand. I just don't understand if I'm paying child.
I don't get it. That's not a good enough excuse for
if this person is working, right? If they're working like 60, 70 hours a week, if they're doing that to rob Peter, to pay Paul, to pay you on time your child support, and they got to pay rent, they got to pay the car note, they got to eat, they got to do all of this. The only thing that they possibly have, because they're probably working 6 days a week, is their Saturday. Every Saturday morning, they come get their kid to take them to the barbershop. And then when they come get their kid on that Saturday morning to take them to their barbershop, they see that your boyfriend, your freak of the week, just took him to the barbershop Friday.
Whose fault is that?
Yours.
Lord.
No,
all right. We're done. We're done.
Like,
we're done.
That's his fault.
We're done.
You know what?
That's his
Hey man, listen. We just gonna disagree. We ain't gonna agree to disagree. We're gonna disagree.
We're just gonna disagree.
That's fine. I'm sorry that you know I don't know. I think I'm right.
You're not. You are 100% not.
You know what?
I think I'm 100% right. I'm sorry. Like in my soul, I'm right.
Your soul is fucking. I don't know who hurt you.
Oh, I don't think I'm hurt. I just don't. I don't get it. Like I'm doing everything else. Oh, I need his haircut. He got it cut.
How are you doing everything else if I'm paying child support?
Because you work 6 days a week and I'm raising your kid, and I'm sure the child support.
And so the day that I get with my son, I get him on Friday night. I take him to get his haircut on Saturday.
In the bills.
I take him to get his haircut on Saturday. We have a great fucking time. And then I bring him back to you on Sunday. Whatever custody dealing that we have, I'm just not gonna be on that time. I'm either have my son or we gonna have joint custody where I know shit like this is never gonna happen to me. But what I'm saying is,
and that's where we agree. And there it is. Whoop, there it is.
Listen to what I'm saying. But it is so much. It is so much into that, Bree.
That shit won't happen.
It is so much into that because you don't know what's going on with certain men. It is men that are great men, like real shit, great men. The only problem that they have is they have children outside of what they're doing, and they spend all their money on child support, and they can only do a certain amount. I'm not saying that that their mistakes don't hinder them. What I'm saying is you shouldn't hinder them from those moments with their children.
That's not being hindered. That's just, oh, he ain't going now because his haircut. Like, what's gonna happen?
I'm
It ain't
not
even
saying
that.
he's not
It ain't
going.
even
Nobody
that.
said that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
but
saying it's a problem though.
are we about to have a problem because his hair is cut now?
You goddamn right we about to have a this is something you know I do.
Okay.
Why would you do that? Again,
You
that's Cardi B
You
petty.
didn't do it this time.
Yeah.
You didn't do it this time. No, it's not. You didn't do
Why
it.
would I not do? But I do. You know I do this every time, Bree.
I had to get his hair cut. Now, I ain't not telling what we had to do. You
But
didn't
I do this every time, Bree.
Uh,
Even if you'd have told me, even if you'd have said, if you my baby mama and you said, hey, we got an event on Thursday, then you know what I'm doing when I get off work on Wednesday? Taking my son to get his hair cut.
No, the fuck I'm not. I ain't got time for that.
Man, come on, dog. That's crazy.
Your little haircut money, I'll take him to get him. You can pick him up on Friday. If it's a
Fuck the haircut money. I just paid you I pay you every month.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean,
what are we doing now? You being petty. Now you telling me what I can't do for my kids.
I'm not, because
now you telling me what I can and can't do for my kids.
No, I'm not.
You already got the government
no,
telling me I gotta pay for
child
this.
support, I guarantee you it's not gonna be enough to make a difference.
I don't give a fuck what the child support is. You already telling the government that I have to pay this. So you telling me I can't even bond with my kid?
Yeah, you can still come get him. But if I got an event and his hair need to be cut immediately, I'm cutting it.
I love you to death, Bree. And I'm so glad that I have a baby mother that if my son is getting his hair cut, she gonna tell me first.
I'm glad you guys did not procreate. So good. Let's move on.
Yeah. Cause boy.
Oh, right. But this is good dialogue. But yeah, let's move on.
I don't know.
You okay?
I'm talking about I am fist grease hot right now.
Sorry, because I'm just a cracking up smiling. I'm not.
I'm laughing too. Cause I'm thinking you don't oh my God.
I think I'm right in my soul, and that's just
you're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Lily, you would have thought that y'all had 5 kids. Like, because I mean, you about to come through that screen on her.
Hey man, I love my kids, man. Listen, I got a daughter in heaven and I got a son right here, man. I love my kids. Yeah. It ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for my kids. I'm talking about, nigga, I'll crash out for my kids. So
I get it.
I'm out, you know what I'm saying? I'm just all full of being a daddy, and I know, like Lindsay said, that right there is not only traditional, that's moments in your life and in your son's life that are always going to be monumental. So to take that away from him is going to be, for a man that loves his kids, let me say that. For a man that loves his kids, man, you might as well shot that nigga in the face. I'm going to keep it 100. Yeah. You might as well shot that nigga in the face. I don't give a fuck if I got 2 nickels to rub together. I make sure those 2 nickels make sure that I spend this day with my son. You can't, man. I don't give a fuck about what the choices a man make in life. As long as he a real man, the things that he do with his son, as long as it is bettering his son, is always gonna be awesome, and you can't take that away from him. That is always that's a stab in the face, and that's always gonna keep a disdain between you and him.
You're just not doing enough. I'm looking at it like that. It's one day.
You think he's not doing enough? He's doing everything that he can do in his power right then and there. You think a man ain't doing a man that loves his kids? Man, we sacrifice whatever.
Right.
We do whatever. And if and everything that I sacrifice, if all I got is this to do, man, you gotta give that to me, man. You gotta give that to me.
Damn.
You don't know when you get on that extra shit. That is why motherfuckers be that kind. Like, man, you seen it. Like, a motherfucker be a great daddy, but don't even speak to a mama in a graduation. You know why? Because she did that type of bullshit to him.
Get your chicken fixings and get the fuck out, man.
Well,
That little
some
bitty
fucked
ass
up
shit
shit.
you doing, and you think you about to nigga his hair is cut. You coming to pick him up or nah? Okay, cool. You crash out. I got something for you.
I'ma pick my son up.
Excuse me.
But I'm gonna tell you, don't you ever do no shit like this again.
We'll see.
Off the flip.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see.
And Bree, if you was my baby mama, I'm telling you off the flip. If we would go through it, because I'm not one of these niggas. I ain't one of these niggas that you could be like, oh, he ain't shit. He do this. He sell this. He does that. Nah, I got a paper sheet of a long way where I'm a good dad. Not only am I a good dad, I'm a civilian. I will take my son. Don't play petty with me. And nigga, I will get full custody. You will get that nigga with somebody watching it.
That's an option. You know what I mean? If I want to see you do it, I would love to see that. That wouldn't happen in the real world in America.
Yep.
Lord. All right. So we are moving on. Okay.
We talked about 2 bitch ass niggas back to back.
And we're about to talk about a third one. So DDG and Halle Bailey.
Oh my God. Lord, don't let it come between, man.
You let these niggas come between us, Bree.
Right.
I can't believe you.
You almost grabbed me by my throat. I felt it.
Right.
I just wanted you to understand what a real man is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no humble brag or nothing, man. Like, what a real man do for his kids. I love my kids. There ain't nothing I wouldn't do for my kids. I don't give a fuck if I ain't got nothing. It ain't. I'm gonna do whatever for my kids. And if you move on and you do whatever, and that man can do whatever, and take them to the moon, that's all good. I don't have a problem with that. But you gonna give me my time with my kids, though.
Oh, I wouldn't deny that. You
gonna give me my time with my kids, and if my time with my kids is taking my son to the barbershop, I'll be damned if you tell me some shit like that. Because I'm gonna tell you off the flip, don't do that shit no more. I ain't gonna crash out, but don't do that shit no more. Just call me and tell me so I can do that for my son.
Get him a mustache trim. Y'all can still go. You gotta go still. He can sit there.
Yeah, nigga. You keep playing with me, and I'm getting full custody. Moving on.
Right. So, speaking of custody, DDG and Halle Bailey.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, they are going through a whole custody situation now. Halle got a temporary restraining order a couple weeks ago that was supposed to hold her until their court date. She claimed physical abuse and she showed pictures of bruises and a chipped tooth. Well, his response to her, he had text messages in his response showing how she was the ultimate crash out and she was suicidal. And how she was like pulling up on him, talking about people that he's smashing and stuff like that. And
she put an air tracker in this shit.
Yeah, she put one of them air tags in his car a couple of times. She put it in the baby bag, and she was popping up on him, at certain places, and that's how she would find out because of these air tags. His soon-to-be stepfather, is his driver. And cleaning out the car one day, they found air tags. His mom moved into his home and was helping him, clean some stuff up after Halle moved out. They found a whole box of air tags.
Hold on, to cut you off right there. Not to even be on no extra. I just wanted to elaborate on what you just said. That nigga soon to be stepfather was his driver. That's fucking wild business right there.
I thought so too.
Moving on.
Yeah. But yeah, so they found all these air tags and stuff like that. And he's saying that, she needs to get some mental help. And he ended up they ended up going to court, and I guess he was requesting a restraining order against her, and he lost that request. So, the way I feel about this situation, I mean, it wasn't nothing that he put out to the public. It was in, court records, and court records are public. And she ended up also winning custody, and she's able to take the kid out of the country. He was petitioning that because he's like, being that she has these mental health issues, he don't want the kid to go far enough to where he won't be able to get to the kid fast enough if something happens. Being that, he had documented proof, I don't necessarily agree with the ruling, but the ruling is the ruling. She's able to go out of the country with the kid. I think that she should definitely get some help, because what she was saying in those text messages was pretty alarming. I just really hope that they get to a place where they're able to co-parent successfully, because right now it's not good.
Agreed.
Oh no, this topic here is, they both on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
they really are. Both
they
of
really
them.
are.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad at the end of the day, because for her, because she's been open about her postpartum and whatnot. So I get the postpartum thing, but then if the suicide threats are real, you definitely need help. If the suicide threats are fake, that's fucked up.
And see, I can't tell which.
We don't know which is which. You know what I'm saying? Because it can look like a cry for help, and in the same breath, it can look like a cry for attention.
Right.
We don't know.
They're so young. They still in their 20s.
Yeah, they still in their 20s.
Yeah, see, they still
That
kind of.
nigga's not in his 20s.
How old is Diddy G?
That nigga's like 33.
Oh, see, he played too much if he's 33.
Yeah, that nigga's like 33.
Well, how old is she then?
She's in her 20s.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, no, he's 27.
Yeah, and how old is she?
Hold on.
Well, what was it? Because I remember that whole thing
She's
where
25.
Yeah,
where his sister's boyfriend was like, nigga, you like 32 with like 15 locks in your head, and when he was about to crash out on him.
I think he was exaggerating because he's
okay. Because I was like, man, that nigga's in the 30s. That nigga told it. He said it.
Yeah,
but,
no,
it was just a crash out.
Yeah.
He don't. Yeah, they young, so I can't tell what they doing. It just looks super toxic. So
yeah, it does.
It's not. It's giving like we young and we about to use this baby to hurt each other, kind of like. And she kind of more on bullshit than he is.
Yeah.
And she is. She just motherfucking is. So
yeah.
And
this is my thing. And this is my thing because she only has like pictures of bruising, and we can take that as he did it. We can take that as like you're lying. He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know. But what we know for sure is she was sending them text messages.
Yep.
And the fact that you got these text messages that is confirmed that she was sending, and all you got is pictures of bruises. We don't know. She could have been on a dirt bike. We don't know how she got these bruises. You know what I'm saying? And you side with her. To me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
She's tripping. It ain't getting around that. She on some fuck shit bad. So
yeah.
I'm glad we all in the same agreements, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where this right here, it was a control issue, because what she tried to seek at first was not only joint custody, but they had to have a schedule. Both of these niggas' schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
So ain't no way we supposed to have a schedule. What's supposed to happen is when I want to see my children or my child, I'm supposed to be able to see my child. And we don't have to have any dealings with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when they had case in points, when they had RSV, he was told, she told him, they both sick or whatever. Because he was gonna come, he called to come get the baby. And she told him that they were sick. So he was like, okay, well, let me come over there and I'll take care of the baby. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'll be downstairs. I'll handle him. And she was like, no. And it's just like, you can't complain that you don't have no help. And when he's trying to help, you turn him away.
That's
Exactly.
like wasn't really sick for real like that. Because if she was, she'd have been like, all right, nigga, I can't even argue with you. Come on.
Exactly.
Exactly. Especially if you got RSV. If you and the baby got RSV, let that man come over there and take care of his child and you get better.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this
Go to the store and get some soup on the way here. Because nigga, no, I'm sick.
Right,
so,
right.
And this is what I'm saying. This is where it goes into Halle Berry or Bailey is being on this kind where she's trying to paint the narrative of this man being so abusive and doing all this extra where that man actually broke down on stream, like, and this is not saying that I'm agreeing with this man at all or saying that their relationship wasn't toxic. I 100% that it was toxic. At the same time, it's like this man tried this, and he's trying his damnedest to be around his kid and to love his kid. They already had because of how she was before they had children. He already was on that type, and the text messages prove we gonna learn how to co-parent type of time. She is on some controlling shit. And if ain't nobody paying attention to that, man, y'all wrong. The proof is in the pudding. That man didn't have to, we didn't find this shit on TMZ or none of that. This is some shit that is court affidavit. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is the time that she's on. She's crashing out like these broke niggas do, the bitches who's in CNA school. I'll kill myself. I kill myself. Like she doing what these broke niggas do.
They young and toxic on bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, it's her too more than him. She blew it. So
it's all her. And like I ain't saying he wasn't toxic because he was fucking on her.
Yeah,
but
he was toxic with her.
Fucking on her don't mean you ain't a good daddy. And I will say that shit to the core of my life.
Yeah, I think
cheating on a motherfucker don't mean you ain't a good daddy. It just mean you ain't a good fucking spouse.
Yeah, right. That whole RSV thing, being sick, controlling how he pick up the baby, the air tags. No.
Yeah. And that shit is all documented by his mama, but of course you don't listen to nobody mama because they biased. Even though they can be telling the gospel truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I see it though, because mamas do be kind of on some bullshit now.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Mamas
I get it.
On some bullshit, nigga.
100%. Yeah, I get it. I ain't saying I ain't get it, but in the same breath, she didn't seen everything. So who else would be able to say what's going on? You know what I'm saying? She right there watching the shit.
Oh, I don't think she's lying. I think she might be exaggerating a little, but I think it's more truth in it than anything. Because
I don't think she exaggerating.
I don't think she exaggerating.
Man, did you see this nigga's hand like this?
Yeah.
We talking about a chip tooth because she jumped in the car, which he explained.
Yeah.
But you can't explain you biting this nigga like you a hamster. Do you see this nigga thumb?
Yeah, it looked like he needed stitches. That's how
exactly.
Bad. Yeah. Like, and then again, she hopped into his car.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody tell you to get in the car? You get in the car and you spazzing out in the back seat. What you think gonna happen?
In front of people. Like she said that at first she said it like the people were gonna agree with her. Because she said it. He did it in front of family. And family like, nah, this bitch tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, his hand was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing.
And then this is the killer part that I've seen. This is the killer part that I've seen from the public. Like the people that's team Halle is like, now you want to put this stuff out? What you mean?
Nah.
What you mean? I put like it wasn't like he put it on his stream. He put it in the court documents.
Exactly.
He responded to what she's saying. He low-key was trying to save her. You know what I'm saying? By not making this shit part of the court documents. Because he could have started this shit when she was doing that.
Exactly. And so
You know
this
what I'm
is why
I don't
I
really.
put the narrative up to everybody. This is why I tell people all the time, and I ain't saying that he's not toxic, because he could have been with them together doing what they were doing. But I will say this: this is why good guys finish last, because he definitely was like, I'm not gonna put her on blast. We just gonna go to court, and I'm gonna put this out in court. And he still got shafted. What he should have did was been like, man, this bitch ain't been shit from the jump. Y'all love her from the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is a whore. Like, and I ain't saying she a whore, but I'm saying this is what he should have did.
Man, I think
in the world of, and again, we just said it before, it's all about the optics. The optics played him as the villain from the gate.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
of who she is.
Right.
And even when he tried to prove it, they still said, you're the villain.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 100% what's going on, because we
that's
all
why
know
good guys finish last. And that's why I tell people all the time, stop trying to be the rattlesnake, be the mongoose.
Look.
Because the rattlesnake comes out, bop, does whatever. The mongoose plays timid and waits for the rattlesnake to bite him. And then they grab him by the neck. And then the rattlesnake realizes I'm immune. That motherfucking mongoose is immune to the venom. And they snap their motherfucking neck. Stop letting these rattlesnakes move around you like that. Be the mongoose.
Look.
If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have waited for her to come out there, and I would have waited for her to do these interviews and do all this old extra shit and paint me as a villain. And it's before we went to court. I'm talking about a day before we went to court. I'd have put that shit out there.
Well, that is
snatch you by your neck, bitch.
Just like a mongoose.
Exactly.
Well, that is Aesop's fables, according to Lily. Well, what was you gonna say, Bree?
No, she a Disney princess, so he's gonna look like the bad guy, and you know what I mean. I really, to be honest, didn't really care. I just thought it was some little young shit they was doing, because the bruises he could have been. Now I think he was trying to attack him, and he had to restrain himself. That's where I think he got him from.
Yeah.
He had to. I mean, yeah, they was on your arm. He had to grab you around your arm, throw you down so he can run. Because
and she light skinned, so she gonna bruise easy. So
I didn't think that picture of his hand was real, and I had to read the comments, and everybody was like, "No, that is his hand."
That hand was fucked up.
Like she hit that nigga with the gerbil munch. That's what you get hit with. Like if you ever got bit by a hamster or a gerbil, that's how that shit looked. My class in third grade, we had a gerbil. I know that motherfucker bit the dog shit out of me. I know how that shit look. I know how that shit bleed. That shit bleed like you about to lose the tip of your finger.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know how that shit look. They clamp down and they hold on to that shit, and you literally got to pry them bitches off your shit.
Yikes.
Right.
She crazy. And I mean, and I don't want to say that, because she might be that baby's not 2. She can very well be under like some type of postpartum.
She could.
Yeah. And
she could.
That 100% I agree with, because on the flip side of this, on the flip side of that is, and I integrate this because of what I've seen in those text messages. She really could need help. It's been plenty of times where I thought I was doing my thing as a man and taking care of Jasmine, where me and Jasmine had a conversation where she was like, no, I really do need more help with the baby, because she was going through that.
Yeah.
Like, and not only was she going through that, she was going through postpartum for 2 babies. But she was only able to take care of 1.
Right.
So it takes a man to realize what's going on and try to, you know what I'm saying, and try to help. That's why I say it's one of those things where I can get, I understand that yeah, he was toxic, but he ain't, know what I'm saying, he was doing his best, but at the same time, sometimes your best ain't good enough
And
when it comes to postpartum.
they young. They're
They babies. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
And
saying?
on
They
top of
baby,
that,
you gotta think like he's trying his best, but for her, it ain't enough. And you know why it's not enough for her? Because she didn't live a life where that was normal.
and she need help. That's why it ain't enough. Shit.
yeah, she needs
It's
professional
not a
help.
lot. It would be a difference if Halle Bailey grew up in a situation where her mother was a single mother, her auntie was a single mother, and you know what I'm saying, like her cousin had a baby at 15. Like these are things that she could relate to even correlate to what's going on. She didn't understand what was going on. On top of this nigga don't understand what's going on. Like it's a whole that's a whole nother beanbag. On top of y'all both toxic as fuck.
Yeah. That's I know it's definitely given two can play that game. But at the same time, she's winning. So
She winning, and that's horrible.
yeah.
That's horrible at the end of the day because
I think she got postpartum depression.
I think she got postpartum.
I think she do too.
And at the same time that she has postpartum, I do agree that he 100% right on saying, I just really don't trust her out overseas with my son, knowing what she's got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I 100% agree with.
Yeah, and that's why I don't understand why it's okay to just ignore the concrete facts that he had and just go with what she had, like it was law.
Because she's a Disney princess.
And because she's a woman. Because you know, those type of courts, they cater to the woman.
And in there,
Exactly.
area dismissed.
And that's the thing, is it's so crazy because I don't give a fuck if she got 4 or 5 nannies out there. A nanny ain't a daddy.
Man, like I said, the RSV thing gave it away. That's how I knew she wasn't sick. The baby was. She wasn't.
Yeah, it's a control issue.
Yeah.
It's definitely a control issue because she's trying to control him, and like by monitoring where he go and showing up when he's on dates and being mad that he's having sex with other women and stuff like that, and they ain't even together no more. Like that's none of your concern, and they ain't got nothing to do with the baby.
Not a damn.
It's a control issue. That bitch ain't shit. Like when it's all said and done, man, let's agree to this. They had a toxic relationship because they were kids. But this bitch ain't shit.
Nah, she got postpartum depression because before they had that baby, they looked like they was having fun to me.
Before they had that baby, he has text messages on that. Before they even had the baby, that bitch was a crash out.
Well, before they had that baby, he was cheating too. So they both was on some.
Exactly.
Both was on some other
It was
shit.
a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
It was toxic. And then he found out this bitch is a crash out.
And got her pregnant.
Because he loved it. It turned him on. That's that young shit. See, and
there you
exactly.
And there it is.
You hit the rabbit on the motherfucking nose.
And there it is. Because she doing that over me. Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep her around.
Yep. Coming from an OG.
We all know it.
Yeah.
We all know it. We got that nigga. We all know a nigga right now. They got at least 2 kids by a bitch. And the only reason why he got kids by this bitch is because she got his name tatted on her. And that's it. It ain't because I like her. It ain't because she got the best pussy in the world. It's her crazy ass tattooed my name across her, so I feel like I gotta fuck her. We all know what
that's the rule.
When a nigga or a bitch get a tattoo of you on them, you feel like you obligated to this bitch. That shit is the most toxic shit in the world.
A little bit. A little bit.
It
never works out.
I'll never forget.
Yeah, they end up getting covered up or erased. So.
Man, I'll never forget, man. You know what I'm saying? The person that you know, Lindsay, She used to think I was lying when I told her. I was like, shit, I got a bitch with my name tatted on her right now. And she was like, man, boy, get the fuck out of here. Bop, 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 bop. And then she met her.
Where's the tattoo?
Huh?
Where's the tattoo?
I'm right on her thigh.
Mm.
Still got it to this day. I'm her Facebook friend. Still got it to this day.
Yeah.
But she was like, what? I'm like, yeah. And like, if I was a dummy, oh yeah, I probably would have 4 or 5 kids by her. But I ain't even gonna lie. If you do that for me, when that shit happened, I was 19. That shit spooked the shit out of me. Cause I'm like, man, what the fuck you get my name tatted on you for? I love you so much. Yeah. I'm start drawing back. Yeah, I started drawing back. And she went on a crash out. I got my back and head hit by a Royals, one of those little mini baseball bats, all that.
Ooh.
Nigga went through it. But you know what I didn't do? Drop babies in that bitch.
Yeah, just imagine if you would have did that.
Yeah, if I did that, I probably wouldn't have Karen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, but they both toxic. We can all agree to that, and she need help. She got postpartum depression that's intensifying that shit, and yeah.
I think the general census on here is that exactly what you said. So that's them too.
Now that's 3 bitch ass niggas and toxic and bull.
I ain't gonna call DDG a bitch ass nigga at this
point. Well, they both on bitch assness, we shall say. It's bitch assness in the stories, all 3 of them so far.
That is true. Yeah. Now that is true.
That is true.
Lord help us. I rebuke it.
Yeah. So let's go on ahead and get into our Diddy update.
I'm sorry.
Update. Hey, Diddy update. Hey, get your lube straight. Hey, get your astral glide. Hey, we gonna fucking 8. Hey, it's a freak off. Fucking freak off. Bring your bitch here. I got a nick to cough. I got a nigga that gonna fuck for a tooth down. I'm like this, yeah, this shit is wild.
All right, so yeah. It was quite a bit this week. So just gonna hit the hot spots. Security guard from the Intercontinental. That was one of the security guards back with that infamous tape in 2016. He testified under immunity that basically he received calls from KK, aka Christina Carroll, about getting the tape. And at first he was just like, it's above my pay grade. Kept on telling her a couple times, I can't do nothing for you. Then she ended up putting Diddy on the phone one of them times that she called, because she was calling the job, she was calling the cell, she was calling his house. And put Diddy on the phone. Diddy tried to talk to him, whatever. So then he was just like, let me talk to my supervisor. Supervisor was like, all right, I'll do it for 50 grand. He got back in touch with him, said he'll do it for 50 grand. So he was the one that made the transaction. He went over to Diddy's house. Diddy ended up putting money in the money machine for him. Ended up being 100 grand. He gave him the copy, the one that they presumed to be the only copy. He took their IDs, he made copies of the IDs, and also had him sign an NDA. And basically in the NDA, it said that he will owe $1 million if this gets out by them, because he is agreeing that this is the only copy. So he said, but he also did say that he did not read the full NDA. So he went on ahead and signed it, took the money. Diddy told him, don't spend it all in one place. Don't try to make no big purchases or anything like that. Which is sound advice,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, 100 grand.
Yeah. So he went
I
on
wouldn't.
ahead.
I would have listened to everything Puff would have said, but I would have made way more than $1 million because that shit coming out.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't have been no 50 grand. I probably would have asked for 250, like, because we're talking about a billionaire here. But anyway,
that shit coming out, and I'm not afraid of Puffy. You're not gonna strong arm me right now. When we in this room with this video camera or this videotape, it's just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna strong arm me. I'll beat the dog shit out of you, and I'll worry about your security later.
Right. I would have asked for a cool meal like I'm coming to America.
Nigga, are you tripping? I would have been like, man, listen. I would have been on my motherfucking Austin Power shit. I want $1 million.
Right. You don't think that's enough?
Nah. Hell nah, it ain't.
Right.
Look, the man would have said 50. I'd have been like, well, he want $1 million, so.
Right.
Man, I would have gave the man that 50 million and 50,000 and quit.
100%.
Soon as that nigga would have told me 50 racks, I would have tossed that motherfucking USB to my nigga and been like, hey, boy, let's talk about this.
Right.
What you're not about to do is make me act like I'm going to be still living at the same house I'm living after I seen this shit.
Yeah, right.
And I'm still going to tell on you. Not even, and I don't give a fuck what nobody, if y'all can look at me as a rat or all that, I'm still going to tell on you. I'm just waiting till the NDA rolls up. Because it has to be a speculation in the NDA.
Yeah. So they also talked about how much he made working there. He made $10.50
an hour?
$10.50 an hour, yes, in 2016. And then he said that they had to split up the 100 grand 3 ways. The supervisor got 50 and he got 30, and then another security guard got 20. I don't know why the third security guard got any. I'm
gonna tell you why he overheard them niggas.
That's what I was thinking too. Like he overheard them.
Yeah, like nigga, you gonna have to pay me something.
Right.
And I didn't sign no NDA.
Neither did the supervisor. The only one that signed the NDA is the one that got 30.
I got that money, I would have cashed that shit in.
Yeah. So he
been on all tabloids because you got me fucked up, Puff.
How about I wouldn't even tell my supervisor I got 100. I would have told him I got 50.
Me too.
Would have had to split the 50, and I would have kept the other 50.
That's
because I'm the one with my neck on the line. How
about they would have been superiorly mad at me because I would have said, "Man, that nigga gave me 10,000. I'm only making 10.50."
You would have been on the beach.
And they mind, I think 10,000 is a lot of money. I'd have been like, man, they gave me 10,000. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. That nigga would have got 25. That nigga would have got 25.
Right.
Matter of fact, I would have been that kind. I would have acted like I was broke. I would have gave the supervisor 5 and gave him 25.
Right. And that's
I would have told them niggas that he gave me 50. I'd have got 30, get this nigga 20 for overhearing us, and here's your
Wouldn't have gave come on. I would have crashed out like I was a dummy.
I would have drove around the corner from Puff House and split that money up so fucking fast. And hid that other 50 under my seat and went back.
I would have made a stop at home, then went to that nigga's house. Like, all right.
I would have came back to them with $10,000. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about.
Right. Well, why did you give us the drive? Man, they had the security there. They had me hemmed up, man. They took it out of my hand, man.
They told me this is all I get. They made me sign a waiver. I was scared of my life.
You know how soon easy, that's how they did me.
Man, come on, man. Yeah. I wouldn't have gave them niggas inkling of what I had.
Yeah, no.
Man, come on.
I wouldn't have, but yeah.
Shout out to the other. Wait a minute. Shout out to the other security guard that overheard them niggas and got just paid on an accident, on a mistake.
Right.
Okay.
Like now, that nigga got a superior come up because I didn't even see none of this shit. I just heard you niggas talking about it, and I just leaned in like, "You talking about Puffy?
You talking about Puff Daddy?
Pete? Love?
Right?
But Love did this." I mean, shut the fuck up. Here go 20. Shut the fuck up.
Right. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Okay.
So yeah, and then he went and bought a used car with the money. So yeah. So that was the security guard. So the security guard was pretty much there for the whole racketeering charge, the RICO charge. So they're proving a couple of things with his testimony or whatnot. So yeah. The next one was Brianna. And I forgot her last name.
Damn, because
I know, right? But they call her Vanna.
Last name.
Yeah, they call her Vanna.
Yeah.
So this chick, she's about 4'11", maybe a buck soaking wet. She is the one from the infamous rumor that she was dangled off of a balcony 17 floors up. She's the chick from that story.
Yeah.
So this one I feel some type of way about, and I'm gonna explain why. Now, with her story or whatnot, she told her story under NDA as well, pretty much because she's the fucking drug dealer, and she was a drug addict as well. She doesn't have a standard 9 to 5. She came into Cassie's life as somebody that was a creative that they were collabing on a clothing line with and whatnot. And however, she did pay the majority of her rent being Cassie's drug dealer. So the majority of the time they was around each other, they got high together. It took her a year before she even met Puff, but she said that was because she knew about the beatings and stuff like that, so she wasn't really trying to be around him. She didn't like him from the jump, which is fair. Then she met him, she pretty much said the standard everybody says, he's awesome one minute and then he's irate the other minute. He's your best friend and then he's your worst enemy. So they used to get high together as well. Now, one thing that they did bring up was that Vanna is a lesbian, and she had a girlfriend at the time. But I guess Puff kind of felt some kind of way because he was thinking that maybe there may be something going on between her and Cassie, but I don't think anything was going on like that. But yeah, this particular time, she was over Cassie's condo. He busts in, goes after her, dangles her off of a balcony 17 floors up. Again, this lady is like 4'11". They're saying that the banister on the balcony comes to her waist. That's a low ass banister, but what else?
Yeah.
She's saying that in the process of him picking her up and dangling her, he groped her. At least that's what was in his complaint. If you don't throw
a bitch over a balcony, you gonna touch her titty.
Yeah,
especially if she's 4'11".
Right. And that was what was in her complaint when her initial lawyer filed her lawsuit, and she ended up firing that lawyer because a lot of the shit that he was putting in that complaint was lies. But she does still hold on to the fact that she was dangled off of this balcony. So like what you just said, Lily, I think the general census is that, yeah, he probably did touch her boobs. However, he did not grab you by the boobs and hang you off of no fucking balcony. And there's no, like, even somebody as big as I am not getting grabbed by the boobs and hung over no balcony. Like, huh? That doesn't even make sense. But anyway, after he hung her over the balcony, he supposedly threw her across the room. And Cassie was in the other room, so she didn't see it. Then he leaves, and he was saying some shit to her, like, I know you did it. I know you did some shit to that nature, while he was dangling her or whatever. Still to this day, Vanna doesn't know why he hung her off the balcony. Cassie came from the other room after it happened and was just like, did you just do that?
I would have stole on her right then.
you know.
Right.
But
Bitch, are you crazy? This nigga almost killed me.
but this is the thing though. Okay, so this was her story and whatnot. She said that she still was around Puff, still was, you know, hanging out with him, still going to parties, still offering him clothing, you know, stuff like that. After this man tried to kill you, right? And she also you know, was pretty much, you know, around up until a certain point when she decided to get sober. And that was the last time that she hung around him. Years later, Cassie wants to put out her lawsuit. Cassie asked her if she can put that story in. She actually told her that she didn't want her to put the story in, but then she ends up coming out with her own lawsuit, and her lawsuit is still pending. This is why I have a problem with this, which part of it came out in the cross-examination. I don't think this happened at all. And in the cross-examination, the Westmoreland attorney, which is a beast, and we have been seeing it every time she gets up there and cross-examines, because she's the one that eviscerated Don Rashad.
As she ripped
yeah,
that to shreds.
Right. So,
What? Wait.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Don Rashad. I don't
Huh?
know who you was talking about.
Yeah, you wasn't paying attention to Bree. You gotta you gotta get on it. You gotta go back. You gotta look.
Yeah, she eviscerated her. But anyway, so one thing that she was saying was she was asking her definitively, you're saying this happened on this date. And she kept saying, yes, this happened on this date. They pulled up a Trump hotel receipt because this supposedly happened at Cassie's condo in LA. They pulled up a Trump hotel receipt from New York. And they showed his name on that hotel room receipt. And he was in New York from this date to this date, which means that you cannot be in two places at one time. On top of that, hold on.
Now, hold on. Let me clarify. Not his name, the alias he used to order every hotel.
Okay. So, and on top of that,
he always used Frank Black.
Yeah.
Biggie was Frank White. He was Frank Black.
Right. But nonetheless, whatever alias is Puff. So, you cannot be in two places at one time. And on top of that, Diddy was on the Bad Boy reunion tour. Now, Bree, in 2016, were we or were we not supposed to go to the Bad Boy reunion tour in Kansas City?
We was.
Now, in 2016, we did not go because of what reason?
I forgot, but we didn't go.
Okay. We didn't go because they had to postpone some dates, and Kansas City Sprint Center at the time could not accommodate the dates that they had to postpone it to for the tour. So the Kansas City date got canceled altogether. Now, the reason why the dates got postponed was because Puff had a rotator cuff surgery.
He sure did. Now, I do remember that.
Yes. So he had that in the middle of August. You can Google it. It is easily Googleable. He had rotator cuff surgery. Rotator is in what? Your shoulder?
Yep.
So you mean to tell me that this motherfucker fresh off of physical therapy and everything for a rotator cuff surgery is dangling somebody off a 17-floor balcony?
I mean, she's 4'11" and 100 pounds. I mean, I can see it happen.
Are you serious?
No, but
and that's what really pisses me off.
I'm just saying what people are there, like what people are trying to act like.
But that's what really pissed me off about the cross-examination, because yes, you did a slam dunk with that hotel receipt, but you could have also done and one with bringing up that surgery that he had.
You know what? What got me was in the mix of, and shout out to her being who she is as his lawyer, because she started just throwing dates at this bitch.
Yeah.
She started just saying, like,
and they said that's her specialty too. I remember when she got on the team and they were saying that about her. I automatically went to that scene in Menace to Society when David Duke was in that room with Kane and he was like, you done fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Fucked up, right? Like, she's that person.
Because she hit her with so this happened here, and then she turned around and said, so this happened 6/3/2025, and she was like, yes, and she said, that's today,
right? Like, bitch, you're lying.
I don't remember dates. I don't know dates.
Yeah,
and she was like, yeah, gotcha,
once
bitch.
Once you start getting caught up, now I don't remember. I can't recall. I was high. But before you start getting caught up, when you was with the prosecution, you remember everything right up top. Right. So now, and this ain't me taking up for Diddy or anything like that. You know, you got to put that disclaimer out there.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. This is not me taking up for Diddy. Yeah. But we understand the railroad show. Right. But let's just be real about the shit. That bitch lying. Exactly. That bitch lying. Yeah. I'm like, there's some motherfuckers that been up there telling the God honest truth, and you get this ugly little bitch up there lying. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, that was stupid. Like, for real. Like, are you serious? I was like, the prosecution trying to lose at this point. That y'all trying to lose.
I don't think he dangled her off the roof, but I do think he beat her up once and she don't remember.
What would be the reason?
Hold on, before you go there, Lindsay. Before you go there,
a reason why he dangled her off of the balcony. If there was nothing else that I knew, I would have found that shit out. Cause you gonna have to tell me why you dangling me off this motherfucker. Like, you not about to just walk in one day and see me and dangle me.
Now,
fuck you. Like, no.
I'll say this. I'll say this because I'm in agreements with Bree, where I will say she don't remember all she knows is this nigga puffed and put his hands on me before. She don't remember when.
That could have been a hallucination for the same reason why you saying that she can't remember.
What and I get that, but I'm saying this is how prosecution is gonna look at it. They're gonna, because she got shredded. She got severely shredded. But at the same time that I say that, I will say this. With everything that is coming up in the accusations, they're gonna look at it as far as the prosecution is, they're gonna look at it like, okay, yeah, she was flawed about certain things, but because she's so adamant on this, and she could be totally lying, but she's so adamant on what happened to her on the charges that he has, they're gonna have they're gonna put some type of truth to what she's saying. They
tried. They did try.
Again, in my opinion, I will say this. I'm Team Lindsay on this. I believe that she's 100% lying on everything. But what I will say is Puffy probably did try to flex on her. We have to understand what type of dude Puffy is. Puffy sits in the background and watch dudes fuck his bitch while he's jacking off. Those type of guys, you know what they do? They flex on women that are smaller than them. So he probably did do some shit to her, but we don't know because she was so high she don't fucking remember. She is just gonna recall some shit, and then she's gonna put the 1 and the 2 on the shit.
She most definitely did that.
Yeah, she just gonna put the 1 and the 2 on some shit. Do I think Puffy probably ran up on her like, little bitch, I'll beat your ass? Yeah, he probably did that
He
shit.
probably did.
100% of the time. But do I think he dangled her over? I don't think Puffy's strong enough to dangle 50 pounds over a balcony. And that's just my opinion. And that's just only because Puff Daddy don't look like for me. Puff Daddy don't look like the type of man that wakes up and does 20 push-ups. Like, so I don't think he's able to do that. I don't think he's able to do that to a person.
I mean, I don't know what he can or can't do, but what I know is he didn't do that. Now that I'm willing to bet.
Yeah, P Love don't look like the nigga that be like, man, bitch, I'll.
Especially by himself. Especially, he looked like the type of person that would tell his security to do it.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't get that.
Like, and when I first heard it, that's what I thought.
Me too.
But you trying to say that he did this?
Puff did that. Puff did it.
A month out of rotator cuff surgery?
Exactly. So I'm thinking like, I'm looking at the shit like, I'm just like, man, shit, me on a good day, like, maybe 75 pounds. I'm not dangling 100 pounds off the fuck.
I'm not dangling.
That bitch
yeah, I might grab you like
that
this
bitch
and have you like that to where you think I'm gonna push you off that motherfucker, but I'm not gonna dangle you.
Yeah, that bitch about to completely die. Do you think it's a movie? You think he said bitch and then lifted her up and brought her back to the fucking patio?
Right, and just threw her off. Now I can see him.
I can see her. Like, I don't give a fuck how many drugs Puffy is taking. He ain't strong enough for that.
Yeah, now I can see him throwing her off to the side.
Now, I could be wrong.
He ain't dangling nobody.
I can be wrong. I can be 100% wrong because I did see a crackhead move a whole engine up a block before with bare hands. So I could be wrong.
But yeah, nah, that bitch lying. That bitch is a fucking liar. And the prosecution just wasted our gosh darn time.
It wasn't even me. Shout out to it wasn't me. Shout out to it wasn't me.
And shout out. Look.
Yeah. But I get so annoyed because I'm like, if it's the truth, tell the truth. But bitch, you're lying.
Yeah,
you're lying.
She did.
Yeah, she's lying. And I'm glad that the prosecutor and again, I'm not Team Puff. I keep telling everybody all the time, we can do all this shit that we want to. We can say whatever's going on, Puffy a freaky nigga, blah. I will just go by the law, and I've been telling you niggas that shit from the jump. When you order a sex worker from one place and you move them to another place, that is called sex trafficking, and that is illegal. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care however you're doing it, that is illegal. And then when you do it on a business, like you're charging it on the business, that is when racketeering comes in.
Yeah.
So those are two laws that he definitely cannot beat. So we can say whatever we want to say about Puff. At the end of the day, Puff is going to jail for at least 2 of those laws that he broke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about how freaky you think this nigga is or how you try to defend him on some extra. Puffy broke 2 laws that I can tell you right now.
Yeah, he's done some shit.
And we're not even going to talk about the arson shit. We're just going to talk about those 2 laws.
Right.
Arson, he totally broke because they confessed to that shit. Not only did the security, but the bitch confessed to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 laws actually right there.
Yeah.
In a federal trial.
Yeah.
Because everybody talking about this ain't Rico for real. Even me, I was like, this don't sound like Rico. But when I thought about it, everybody got immunity. Everybody's talking against him. That's a Rico. And these 3 laws right now that I know is broken, man, that nigga gonna at least go to jail for 10. If y'all don't think you're gonna get 10, y'all crazy out y'all rabbit ass mind. that nigga going to jail for at least 10. Only way that nigga is going off scot-free, that if somebody comes in that motherfucker and says this, Puffy didn't have nothing to do with it. It was all me. Ain't nobody about to do that though.
No. No, that's how it happened on
nobody
TV shows and movies and shit. That's not what's about to happen here.
Yeah, ain't nobody about to bust in the courtroom doors and be like, it was all me. Puffy didn't have shit to do with it. I did that. I was fucking these niggas in the ass and filming it. Like, no. Puffy ain't getting saved that way. He's at least doing 10.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's gonna happen. But let's move on to the last person this week. So we have another Jane Doe. Jane Doe. So she messed with Diddy from like, I want to say 21 to 24, right up until he got arrested. So he got arrested in September of 24. So that's pretty much when
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Do we have to say Jane Doe?
Not really, because we're not in the courtroom.
Yeah, so man,
but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let me build it.
Okay.
So so she messed with him for that time frame, up until when he got arrested. So I believe that the Super Bowl freak off that he was setting up was for her, because this was his freak off girl. She started being around him because her friend was dating Puff, and excuse me, and he kind of stepped to her when they did a girls trip in Miami. They was like on his yacht or whatever, and he stepped to her when they was out. So they were going to have this relationship on the cool, but then her friend ended up getting engaged to somebody in Europe and moved to Europe. So she thought Puff was free game at that point. So she's a single mother, and her baby's father publicly does not like Puff. So with this information, of course, folks start speculating who this is. So a lot of people have speculated that it is Daphne Joy. We can, speculate who it is because we're not in the courtroom. However, the people in the courtroom and the people in the overflow room have gotten definitive instructions saying that they cannot disclose who it is, or they will be subject to charges against them, just like with the whole Mia situation. But
we're not a part of that.
We're not a part of it, so we can speculate who it is. But the people that were in the court, they have said, yeah, we knew who it was immediately when we saw her. So ladies on the stand telling this story or whatnot. She started dating Puff. He took her to Turks. He took her to the Bahamas. Or he took her somewhere in the Bahamas. I can't remember the first place. Yeah, I think it was Turks. But anyway, so he was like, sweeping her off her feet. He was
for the bare minimum. Let's just, before you go further, like even in the testimony, and looking at this, for the bare minimum, I understand why the other rapper put her on blast like that, because he was doing. I'm pretty sure this man was doing way more. But for the bare minimum, she was doing this type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'll digress from there.
Yeah. So she was getting swept off her feet or whatever, and then she ended up moving to LA, and he told her from the jump, like, hey, I got other women, you're not the only one. But she was being monogamous to him. She was having a lot of sex with him, and she liked the sex, but she said they watched a lot of porn together. And
man, this nigga.
Yeah. And so there was one particular time they was watching porn, and he was
turned
like,
that bitch out.
yeah. And there was one particular time when they was watching porn, and he was just like, you know, you like that big dick. You like that big dick. Just imagine that being mine and you and blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, she was saying, talking her shit back or whatever, and, you know, agreeing to the shit that he was saying, not knowing that he was not playing. And so she like left the room, came back, and she was just like, you about to get that big dick tonight. And he ordered up an escort. And, you know, she ended up going along with it. She said she didn't want to initially, but, you know, that's what they all say.
Yeah, exactly.
But she went on ahead. Yeah, she went on ahead with it. And then it got to the point where that's all they were doing. So then she started saying that she didn't want to do it. Then he would say, you know, try to convince her. When she did it the first time, she asked for a condom. He didn't want to give her a condom. He ended up giving her a condom right before the intercourse started. Yeah, that was his thing. He didn't want to do it with a condom, which, I mean, we already heard. Then it got to the point.
Before you go further, let's just stop here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stop here only, and I'm gonna let you continue, but I'm gonna stop here just to say this. This is the type of guy we're hearing about. The type of guy who is a sucker and very insecure. And he's so insecure that he can't even please this woman, to the fact that he has to watch another man plow his woman in order to even reach an orgasm. And even in that situation, he gotta. And I like Puff. Don't get me wrong. The Puff made great, he produced great music. But the demented man that this man is, this man literally could not get off until he seen his woman get plowed by a big dick nigga. Let you know how much small dick energy this nigga has. And in order to even do anything extra, that big dick nigga's ejaculate had to be spread across his fucking chest.
Yeah. Hold on, because we ain't at that part yet.
Let us
get there.
I'm just like, what type of man is
yeah. But so they started having these freak outs, and they started having them more frequently. She didn't want to do it. And every time she didn't want to do it, he would threaten to not be in a relationship with her. So then it got to the point where he was like, well, how much to pretty much have you as my concubine, how much of a monthly allowance do you think is appropriate? She said 15,000. He said no, 10,000. So they did 10,000. And she went and got a big ass house where the rent was 10,000 a month. So instead of him giving her the 10,000, he just paid her rent. So
it'd be so stupid. I would have got a house for fucking $800.
In LA, that's a 1-bedroom in Watts. Like,
I don't give a fuck. My kid will raise my son. Like, nowhere in the world, like my kid, like, well, I said it right. My kid will raise my son. I will put that nigga in the streets.
No, I would have probably got a place that was a good 3,000 a month and pocketed the rest, because remember, she already is getting child support from her baby daddy, who we presume to be 50 Cent. And so, you know, that's a nice coin already. And that's what she was living off of prior to Puff. So you already getting a nice coin, because she don't work. She was a content creator, but then that shit fell off because she was so engulfed in Puff. So she started getting her monthly allowance. So yeah, I would have been stacking like a motherfucker, like, because on top of the child support, 50 gonna do for his kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can call him and get anything, I'm sure. you know, but what else? So I mean, she ain't us. So
whatever. Like,
right.
no, but that's the
So,
truth though. Like you
yeah.
hit it 100% on the head.
Yeah.
Like again, it's allegedly that's 50 Cent's baby mother. But again, like if you fucking Puff and your baby daddy is 50 Cent, like yeah, like you can have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in LA, and still be stacking.
Yeah, absolutely, and live nice. You know what I'm saying? I would have been stacking that money and then use that shit for a down payment on a house. Like I would have made sense. I would have made sense. Getting a $10,000 monthly rent don't make sense when you ain't got no fucking job. Like this man can take his money at any given moment, and that was the thing. He threatened her with ending the relationship, and then because he would be like, let's take a break, you know what I'm saying, when she would complain about doing more freak offs, which now are not called freak offs, they're called hotel nights. But when she would complain about it and whatnot, he would threaten her to end the relationship or take a break. And then when he would say, let's take a break, he will also say, so what you need, like 2-3 months to go on ahead and move out, because I'm not going to be paying rent for somebody I'm not in a relationship with. Fair. And that's why you don't go get $10,000 a month rent. So yeah. So that was their situation. That's pretty much where they ended yesterday. But then, you know, she's going to be on the stand for 5 days. She came back today. You know, they also talked in detail about what was going on during the freak offs. It was similar to Cassie's testimony where, once they would have intercourse and the man is ready to complete, he would have to complete on a specific part of her vagina. And then Diddy would come in right after him and start having intercourse with her. But he would be playing in the sperm, and he would have sex with her with the sperm. So she didn't go into detail on what playing in the sperm consisted of, but
that's still gross.
It's gross. It's gross. It would be gross if it was his own sperm, but the fact that it's somebody else's sperm is even more gross and disgusting. But
so I always tell people, like, because everybody got this whole thing, like people really love Puff. Like let's not get it twisted. People really love Puff. It's some people that I know that really love Puff, and I tell them the same thing that I'm gonna tell y'all right now on all of these social webs. Just imagine you are in the enthralls of intercourse. Bye, you do your thing. And you know, you ejaculate. Let's say this: you ejaculate on a woman's backside, and then you have this nigga that come from the side in a Yankee fitted and rub his body all over this shit.
Like a slip and slide.
Like a I said this before and I'll say it again. He rubbed this shit across this bitch back like a snail. This is a slow grind. This is slow. And then he told you to keep going. Like, no fucking way, my nigga.
Disgusting.
No fucking way.
I'm not finishing gagged. This. I would have gagged the first time that I saw that shit. I would have gagged.
This nigga slid across this nigga shit like a waterboard.
Yeah.
And then said, go ahead and finish. Like, no. No.
What are we doing? Time out. Oh my God.
First of all, if and you know, shout out to all of those sex workers, because y'all have to do a phenomenal job doing whatever y'all do to take care of whoever y'all got to take care of. At the same time, yeah, I always say hindsight is 20/20. I be looking all the time through my binoculars and through my rear views. I be trying to look. Ain't nowhere in the world that I could continue to do what I'm doing with a nigga with a 50 fit with a New York fitted cap on, beating this little dick off.
I just don't. It just get worse. Like the more you hear about, you know what I think is crazy is his kids be right there.
Yeah, and they are disgusted. It's shown visibly that they are disgusted.
Yeah, when they walk in the courtroom, they look one way. When they come out, they look like Freddy Krueger was sitting next to him. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like after a while, they stop coming after a while, and I agree with them. Like especially the nigga that really looked like Puffy.
Yeah, King.
Like that nigga can't do shit no more, no with shape, form,
at all.
How. Like
he got to become a public citizen at this point.
Yeah, at this even as a public citizen, you know what he can't do? And y'all gonna be mad at me for when I say this, but I'm being funny, but I'm being 100% true. You look like you every bit of your daddy. You know what you can't tell any woman from now on? You like this big ass dick, because they gonna be like, you want to jack off to watching another big ass dick fucking me? And that's the thing. Like he can't tell them that because he ain't got it.
No, he can't.
It's hereditary, nigga. You get the dick from your daddy. That's why I like my daddy. And shit, my daddy ain't shit, but I do love what he gave me. You ain't gonna be able to do that.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he's just jacked up, period. It really is. Them niggas ain't really gonna get to live this down till they get in their 40s. You know what I mean? Like
Puff gotta go home to glory before, you know, and I don't want to wish that on him, but
I don't.
His kids to be set free.
40s.
Yeah, for his kids to be set free, he gotta go home to glory.
Yeah. And it's jacked up because it's just like bro, like damn, like I would go in there and I'd be like, I'm leaving at lunch, y'all. Like I can't.
Right. So let me get to today. Today I didn't really get too much info before we started filming about today, but the one part I did get was that Jane Doe, Daphne Joy, whoever, was jealous of Young Miami because Young Miami was the one that he was toting around in public and whatnot, and she was the freak off girl.
That's why she was always talking about old bitches. Okay.
Yeah, so okay. Yeah. So Daphne Joy was the freak off girl. Yeah. So Daphne Joy was the freak off girl allegedly, and Young Miami was the public girl. So he pretty much, because Cassie was the end all be all, so he pretty much split them up now. So yeah, so it came out that she was jealous of Young Miami, which, if you're so in love with a man that told you that he's not going to be monogamous and you see him out, like, I get it. Yeah.
It's like 100% is understandable because of what Young Miami was able to accomplish.
And she was getting more.
Yeah, like not only was she being more, nigga, she won an award that she shouldn't have won. Like, ain't no way we gonna share a podcast award with Drink Champs. Nigga, you just got here.
Right. And it's only 6 episodes. That weren't even
you won that?
They weren't even all aired at the time when she won an award. That's the killer part.
I said, well, I couldn't get mad at, to be honest, before I knew the type of ridiculousness was going on, I kind of was for it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, young girl, get that money. You know what I mean? But now.
Yeah, I don't think nobody was necessarily mad at it because he's a billionaire.
You know, yeah, exactly. But now, bitch, you went through it and you liked it. And you liked it. She liked that shit. She didn't.
Yeah.
She was with it. She was down.
Yeah. And I don't think he could have got that shit off with Young Miami anyway.
Nah.
I don't even think he would have. He probably never tried her, but even if he would have tried her, I don't think she would have agreed to that. Not to that.
Not to all that stuff. They did
Yeah.
some of that shit, but not.
Now
not
they did some shit. They did some shit.
Let's not get it tricked.
Yeah, they did some shit. But I don't think
Young
they
Miami
did
did some wild shit with Puff. But the thing about Young Miami, and I'll respect her to the core about this is the fact that Young Miami know a thing or two about how to finagle niggas. So like Young Miami was getting way more than everybody else think. But one, to call yourself Young Miami means you know what the type of structure is with these type of rich ass niggas. You know they be doing some weird shit, and you gonna get your bag out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with I ain't gonna sugarcoat. I was about to say Jane though, but I ain't about to say that. The problem with 50 Cent baby mama was she was doing it for cheap.
She was doing it for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, she was doing it for cheap, and
see,
that's why she's so hurt, because she was doing it for cheap.
Young Miami was saying little shit like that too, like you old bitch. I didn't know that's who she was talking about. I thought it was the girl's mama, but no, it's two bitches. You know what I mean? So
it was a harem. He had a harem. So he still had Gina around. He had Daphne Joy. He had Joey Chavez, and he had Young Miami.
Yeah, you doing it for cheap. You bitches are getting 6,000, 10,000, maybe 5. The escort's only getting 2. Young Miami is getting $50,000 a month.
I don't think she was getting. I thought she was getting 100 a month.
Yeah, I heard it was $350 a month.
I had heard that years ago that it was $350, but then recently
I heard it was $350. I'm gonna put the 1 on the 2 just because I know because she was making money before that, and she just put the 1 on the 2. She didn't go super elaborate with her life, so 50 racks a month is what she was actually getting.
So remember when she crashed out when he had that baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he had to come out, make a statement or whatever about how he loved her and whatnot. I had heard around that time she was getting a certain amount, and he increased it to that $350 around that time.
Because I heard she was getting $150, and then he bought her some kind of car.
He bought her the Bentley truck,
and then he increased that allowance to $350
on
top of the shopping.
Yeah, I'll tell everybody on that's listening to us right now. I'll talk rich man scheme. So on paper, with buying gifts and all that, that's what it looks like. Like she's getting this much a year. In real life, she wasn't getting.
That wasn't a year. She was getting that a month.
She wasn't getting that a month. That's what they was putting on shit. Because I can guarantee you. Listen, even this court affidavit, or not the court affidavit, but what these we are listening to people in testimony is, Puffy don't be giving people that much money.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So we can be on this type of time of, yeah, she was getting this, I'm gonna keep it 100. She was getting more than everybody else, so I'm gonna stack it all the way to 50.
I think she was getting 100 a month. I ain't gonna say.
I don't think she was getting 100.
I do. I think she was getting 100 because 350 times 12 ain't nothing but 44.2 million. That's nothing. So I think she was getting 100.
Look at what her net worth is, and then you'll realize that she probably was only getting 50 grand a month.
Her net worth's pretty decent.
Google it right now.
Let's see.
All right, Google it, Lindsay. I bet you it's about 12, 13 million.
It's not publicly available.
So
I ain't never seen that.
So I've seen it. So what I tell you is,
So they're saying it's estimated to be 2 million.
Okay.
I was about to say. So I'll say it like this, because you can pay $25,000 to get all of your assets pushed off the interwebs. You can. It's only $25,000 for that. So that's what Travis from Strange Music, he pays $25,000 a year to make sure that his assets don't be on the interweb.
Because he's really that rich.
Because he's really that rich.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is this. I can guarantee you she ain't got what people think she got. She got some millions. Don't get it twisted. I know what I'm saying. All the shit she was doing, she got some millions.
I believe that.
She ain't got more than I could die on. She ain't got more than $15 million.
I can believe that,
and that's with her and assets.
And I'm gonna say why I believe it. Because she was just on Zeus. So the fact that you was just on Zeus, yeah, I can believe that you ain't got that much. Like we probably think you do. So she probably was getting about 50 to 100 from him.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, Diddy is cheap, because we didn't heard what his assistants was making and shit like that. Like, he's cheap. And that's probably the reason why he's a billionaire, because he's cheap.
The motherfucker that was doing the most for that nigga was getting $60,000 after taxes.
Yeah. That ain't that much.
That ain't shit.
Especially compared to what they was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't that much. So I believe it. That motherfucker cheap. And that's probably why he a billionaire, because he's cheap.
I mean,
so
real
and then
on money don't spend money.
Right. And then on top of that, well, fucking 50 Cent baby mama getting 10. She getting 10. And she asked for 15. And he said no 10.
That's what her dumb ass get. That's
why 50 stopped fucking with her. Because 50 was probably paying this bitch real shit. 50 made a song called "Be a Baby," have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. He made a song, and for this bitch to do this for fucking $10,000, oh yeah, you about to get cut the fuck off.
Yeah, and he gonna go for that custody. He taking notes. He's going for that custody.
Oh yeah, that little boy gonna be his. I mean,
ain't no way in the world.
Right? Because you just testified about how much drugs you've been taking. You just testified about doing these fucking freak offs every day. You're having sex with escorts every day, bitch. When do you raise our son?
Exactly.
So, but you know what 50 didn't do? He didn't turn around and say, "This is Curtis Jackson III."
Yeah, Brian.
He sure did.
Brian McKnight,
which lets you know that nigga that he's fully aware of his children.
Yeah,
Brian McKnight is diabolical.
Right.
I hate that I threw it back like that, but that's the truth.
No, that's some real shit. He did not do that.
They didn't do it. He didn't turn around and be like, "Man, that's the new 50." Nope.
Right.
Nope. The new 50 is the nigga that be battling. And he laugh at all that nigga post. That's how I know he love his son. Because he always comment on his son's post. And he don't be on no negative shit. He just laugh because that nigga got his same laugh. So he goes in that motherfucker and puts the laughing emojis. He love his son. He still pays his son.
Now,
like, you know what I'm saying? He just like, me and him can't get along right now.
Now, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that 50 and Diddy's beef is that deep that Diddy fuck with Daphne on purpose to get back at 50?
Oh,
and he's turning her out the way that he turned her out to get back at 50.
100%. I 100% think that, you know what I'm saying? Because but knows to anybody. Like, we all had our rumors. Let's not get it twisted. we've been knowing since Tupac. It's been a rumor that Puffy been a little extra. But when that whole shit happened, with Mace and Mace and excuse me, and 50, how that shit played out, because he did that shit only because Puffy tried to do him like that before he was famous. Like, if we go to it, when 50 was upcoming and he had the hottest song on the radio, he was fresh. Puffy said, "I want to take you shopping."
Yeah.
And 50 felt a certain way about that. Like, nigga, why you want to take me shopping?
He turned down his sexual advances, and he
exactly. And then when he got the opportunity to sign Mace, everybody, because I'm not shunning Mace for this. I'm not saying Mace was wrong for this, but I understand the type of chess game that 50 was playing. He said, "I'm gonna make a video where I take Mace shopping," because that's the type of time this hoe ass nigga trying to play on me. So I'm gonna take the artist that you blew up, and I'm gonna put him on my label, and I'm gonna make a video when I'm just taking him shopping. Like, we gotta understand the chess game that 50 be playing with these niggas.
50 does do that.
50 is superiorly, like, everybody want to talk that street shit. I ain't saying 50 tough. You know, I tell people all the time, like, if you get 100 New York niggas and 100 Missouri niggas, them New York niggas gonna lose. And I'm not downplaying New York niggas, but I'm saying Missouri niggas is a different type of breed. But at the same time, when you do that type of shit, yeah, our Missouri niggas was like, we knew how the game that niggas was playing. I'll take your main nigga from you, and I'll take that nigga shopping. Like, we knew what type of time 50 was on when he was playing that type of game. Because in real time, this nigga said, "I want to take you shopping," and then he said, "You know what? Fuck this nigga. This nigga weird. But I'm gonna go grab this nigga, and then I'm gonna make a song, and then I'm gonna make this nigga jump for joy like a little bitch." All right, like, and that's not down. Again, I'm not downplaying Mace, but Mace should have been like, "I ain't doing this.
I'm not getting in the middle of y'all shit."
Not getting in the middle," because Mace had his big smile out on all of that shit. Mace out there looking like. Like, that shit was like, I knew right there 50 was a different type of nigga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think that he did that to be petty. He got that woman hooked on dope, like Jeannie Lamp from Kansas City. Y'all didn't catch that one, huh?
No, I caught it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember on South Central, one had Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City Pimp.
Kansas City Pimp, right.
City Pimp.
I caught exactly what you were saying.
But yeah. I think he I think that was definitely intentional, and he treated her like, because I think her being his baby mama, he was probably expecting her to say 100,000. This bitch said 15. So he definitely lowballed her. You know what I mean? So
Lowballed the shit out that bitch. Like, this bitch, this motherfucker, this bitch child support is 15.
Dude. So this is my thoughts about this whole situation. And I sent this to you, Lily. I said Diddy should have bought a house specifically for freak offs, hire both male and female escorts, and have a house manager to set up the freak off and a maid to clean up.
I mean,
like that, we wouldn't be here.
He would have had that, but no.
Even if, and I'll say this, even if he did that, if they decided to roll on him, he would go to jail. He would go to jail on the strength of, if he did all this, which would have made perfect sense. But if these niggas that he was buying was from another state, he's still going to jail for sex trafficking.
But that's it. But that's the thing, because he's so wealthy, he could have had a house specifically for freak offs in every city that he did his freak offs in. Cause he got multiple houses. So he had a house in LA, New York, and Miami, right? He could have had a separate house that was probably like an hour out of the city, and had the freak offs there. Like you don't need nothing but like a good 2-3 bedroom house.
Yeah,
and
then you know what they're the guy.
You drive there yourself. You have a garage. You pull in a garage. Your windows all black. Don't nobody know who owned this house. You have your house manager that you hire, not that your company hire, because that's a part of it too. Because them assistants was Sean Combs LLC or Bad Boy Entertainment. So no, have the house manager that you hire yourself to set the shit up, and then have the maid that you hire yourself to come clean the shit up.
Now, all that would have saved him, but it still would have never saved him from this.
From the prostitution.
Yeah, exactly. At the end,
but
of the
if
day,
you a real escort,
what you said, like, and I'm only going on what you said. What you said is, even if he had this and he had this house far away and he's doing this thing, they even if they didn't, if they was like, you know what, these were willing participants, not willing participants. But they knew that the first time they went there, Puffy was asking for this. If all they have to say is, I didn't want to go the second time, but he gave me some money, and so I went. And so that automatically, even if it's in the same town but miles away, you know what that is?
What?
That's kidnapping.
That ain't kidnapping.
You know, yeah.
Because you got a choice.
You know what kidnapping is?
You got a choice.
Hold on. Because everybody does that, but I'm gonna tell you what the law says. And kidnapping, the law says this: if you're like, I don't want to go there. I don't give a fuck if a nigga says, I'm gonna give you $1,000. I don't want to go there. If he takes you 15 feet away, that is labeled kidnapping.
But he wouldn't be taking them nowhere. They will show up. He will order them like he ordered the ones in real life. He will go onto the website, order the male, order the female, order the couple, and then they will bring themselves to the home, and then we'll have the freak off. But what I also think he should do, because he likes directing, obviously, is he should have directed porn. I think that was his niche that he did not dive into.
I don't know what this nigga's niche is. He's horrible.
Yeah.
He could have definitely directed porn, and he would have had a special niche. And I'm sure he would have been $2 billion.
All I'm saying is this: is if a motherfucker say, I don't want to go there tonight. Why? And then you give a nigga some cocaine, and you pop that nigga a pill, and you like, I still don't want to go. And you like, get in the car, and you drive 15 feet away from the location. Legally, that's kidnapping.
And I get what you're saying.
This man is under the influence. He don't know what he's like. Even though he agreed to get in the car, he was still under the influence. That's kidnapping.
I get all of what you're saying. However, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I order you, you're coming here. You're getting delivered here. Whether you deliver yourself or whether Uber or Lyft delivers you, you're coming here. So I'm not taking you anywhere.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I get it 100%. But what
and
is
you know what him? You know what I'm ordering you for, because I'm getting you off of an escort site.
Yeah, but
so we
what
all
I'm
know
getting
what
you for is,
and we all know that I'm paying you for it. So the most that anybody could have got them for or got him for would be prostitution. However, you like escorts are not, they're not supposed to roll on you. You know what I'm saying? So your
Again,
secret will be safe.
but what I'm saying is, how far did this go? Because I get what you're saying. Like, say we do all this, it's still, even if they offer the escort service in this one area, when you pay for it to go to another area, that's when it becomes illegal.
But that's the thing. I'm not paying for you to get transported from one area to another. I'm paying for you to come here.
Oh, so you just basically saying, like, in every place he was at, I'm
He's
just gonna
a
have a
billionaire.
plethora of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I wish he would have did that. He didn't do that.
That's what I'm saying. What he should have done. I'm saying what he should have done. He should have had a house specifically for freak offs. He should have hired male and female escorts. He should have personally hired a house manager and a maid. Like that, nothing will be illegal outside the prostitution. And somebody got to roll over for you to get caught on the prostitution.
Like, if he was doing that, the prostitution would have never been on the table.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like my plan will be pretty damn near foolproof. He's rich enough to where he can have a house an hour out of the city in every city that he will do a freak off in. And even if he doesn't own the house, he can do an Airbnb.
Yep. He fucked
I mean,
up.
he's been doing that. I mean, shit. He had Prince's house.
What he was having was hotels. And what had him fucked up in the hotels was they got cameras. So that's the reason why I'm like, be in a house.
And he did do that shit at Prince's house too.
What?
Only thing I heard about Prince's house was that he tried to beat up Cassie at Prince's house, and Prince's security jumped in and was like, "You ain't doing that shit here."
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing in a nutshell, because Prince was gone. Prince was not there. He had rented Prince's house out.
Well, this situation, Prince was there because Prince was the one that told his security to go intervene.
So, because you could have watched that. I'm watching how Prince said he had rented the house out to Puffy.
Mm-hmm.
It let him. He had rented that shit out,
and he trashed it.
Yeah, and he had cameras everywhere because he put hidden cameras everywhere, and he had a conversation with Puff and told him the shit that you're doing is gonna get you fucked up.
Yeah,
you know.
And Prince ain't never lied.
Yeah, that's in the courts.
Yeah,
Puffy was going crazy over that shit. Like, man, that nigga, blah blah blah, and they had to settle that nigga down.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, he was trying to do that. He just wasn't smart enough to handle it like you saying he should have handled it.
Yeah.
Because he rented out Prince's house, and Prince put him on blast and told him. Not only did Prince tell him, Prince recorded what he was going to say to him.
And that's why I wouldn't do an Airbnb. I would just do me buying a house. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do, because I'm going to have control. You're not going to have no hidden camera on me. Because you can get caught up just like he got caught up in the Intercontinental.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Prince had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
That's why he's so mad about that shit, because Prince had him dead to rights on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my plan, you know.
If you was a diddler.
Yeah, if I was the dealer. But yeah. Any final words about Diddy?
I've been telling y'all for a long time, maybe what, two years now, Lindsay. I've been telling y'all that we need to set our monsters out there like that. Like, I'm not saying that some of these people that are playing victim or not victim, or because some of them is. I just don't believe all of them are.
Yeah. Right.
But what I will say about this is, Puffy, he is one of those people that all of us have seen in the world where they got shunned when they was kids, and then all of a sudden they got they had a reason to get a bag, and then they became a villain. I think that's what we're seeing. I believe that Puffy was never, when he was growing up, he never had his peak like most of us had a peak, or not even a peak, but they had their outlet of people that we can relate to and we can grow up to and we can be cool and we looked at each other as equals. Puffy never had that. Puffy always wanted to be a certain character, and the people that he hung around wasn't that type of they wasn't on that type of time. And then he went somewhere where he seen these people doing some shit and he wanted to be on top of that time. And he wasn't looking at the evil that they was doing. He just incorporated that evil into it. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a man that is actually getting judged, especially as a black man. He's actually getting judged on the evil shit that he was doing. Because at the end of the day, everybody can talk that bullshit about white man this, black man this, all that. I believe that every black man is highly favored, but it's only on the choices we have to choose how favored we are. He made a bad choice and he's reaping what he sowed because he chose to do what everybody who oppressed him does. And we're just going to go through the motions of it. And that's my final thoughts about it.
Right. Bree, you have any final thoughts about Diddy?
No, I'm sick of him.
You know, I'm just watching with both eyes completely open. You know, just waiting for the outcome. And what the outcome is what the outcome is going to be. Because at the end of the day gotta end. So
yeah, it's gonna be over soon.
Yeah. So that is our Diddy update.
Oil, actual glass spray. Make it happen, man. We disrupt it down. We disrupt it down. I just seen that booty hole. Ooh, not around. But he like to fuck bitches when they not around. Then he like to jack off when a nigga around. Like, that's wild. That is wild. He's a wild guy.
Wow. He was like, hey, you know what? That's wild. That's
wild. Like,
yeah.
He's a wild
like
guy.
your face just, that's wild. Like, I'm gonna pray for him. That's
a wild dude. Like, I'm just like, hey, shit, like, as soon as a nigga get, like, I just don't understand the type of dude that as soon as a man get in the room, he want to pull his dick out. That's wild to me.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah,
different. And it ain't like, you know, I don't know, me and you about to have a situation. Like, whatever people decide to do in their bedroom is what you decide to do in your bedroom. But it's quite weird for you to bring a nigga to pal your bitch and you just sitting in the background like beating your dick. That is wild to me. It's wild.
You know, it's hard not to judge what we're hearing. Cause like you said, what people do in the bedroom is what they do in the bedroom. But damn, that's what you want to do in the bedroom.
Like, come on, man. You went in that motherfucker with like, motherfuckers was like, he went in there with like this whole Muslim mask, and then he just went to a Yankee fitted. Like, that's a crazy transition. Like, it's one like you like, I don't want y'all to see me. I don't want y'all to see me. And down it's like, I want you to see me. Take that. While I'm beating my dick off. That's a wild transition, man.
Yeah. You know?
That man's starving. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo. That man, wow.
But yeah. Yeah. So I don't have any final thoughts. So Jerry's final thought. Take it away.
And we didn't talk about a lot of stuff, but I will say this, and I'll end it short and sweet. I understand that this is Father's Day month, but this is also Man's Mental Health Month. So I'll say, all my men out there, if you're going through some shit and things are getting hard and things feel like they're compiling on you, hey, really understand it. Take a mental break, step back, realize who you are, and what you contribute to the world, and always remain a good dude. Don't never let this world make you tainted where you're gonna make a bad mistake. We all got to take care of each other, black, white, brown, whoever you want to be, as men, as long as we are in that fortitude of knowing what men have to do and what we have to make happen as far as us and unity as one human being. If you are feeling troubled or if you are feeling shafted, it ain't all of us. It ain't us doing that. It is people doing that, but it ain't all of us. Take a step back, breathe, and really focus on what we need to do as men. And try to make it happen to the best of your ability, and always ask for help. That's the thing about men, we don't never ask for help. Ask for help. We're always here as men that love each other. Pause. But as men that love each other, we should be able to help each other. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Yeah. Well, thank you for Jerry's final thought. And this was episode 161 of the Ish We Talk. And we will see you guys for episode 162. Bye.
Exactly.